Prophet Marshall Occurrence. So, what this gonna be about is they wish misfortune on us, and we wish misfortune on them. They want to curse us, we curse them. Two can play at that game. And that's what it is. You know, we're not confused about this. Ultimately, they wish us misfortune. But we supposed to play the person sit there to take it. We supposed to play the person sit there, you know what I'm saying? And take these underhanded conspiracies, these underhanded scheming games. We supposed to sit there and take it. No, we ain't sitting there and take it. From this moment, I tell you as a prophet, they wish misfortune on us, we misfortune on them. Straight like that, bro. Straight like that. Straight like that. And look, you're not going to be able to take everybody with you. All you know, your immediate circle might be able to go, but all these other people that you watch on YouTube, all these other Christians that they gon' think we can pray for these people, we can help these people. I'm not looking to be a helper right now. I'm not Santa's little helper. And that's not towards God. I'm not Santa's little helper. I'm not Santa's little helper, bro. You know what I'm saying? You know, people want to play games. Hey, yo, I'm not Santa's little helper. I'm not trying to help you. And there are a lot of Christians out there like that. And see, they think that's what you're gonna do. Well, he's supposed to pray for us. No, well, that's not what I had in mind. That's not what I had in mind, buddy. Cause see, they don't see that the Christian can come with that type of approach. Where, yo, I'm not trying to pray. I'm not trying to pray about this no more. Because I'm not confused no more. Right? I'm not confused no more. See, the truth is, when it comes to these enemies, some of y'all confused. Oh yeah, come on, that's it right there. You're confused. Once you see consistent patterns of them being your enemies, are you confused about what's going on? You're not confused, are you? Okay. You're not confused. So then we get to work. Okay? I'm gonna tell you just like a homie. We get to work. Okay, and look, they ain't getting no fame off this. They ain't getting no fame off this. That time is over. I smell blood. We got them. America out there playing with Greenland. They playing with Greenland. You know what I'm saying? They playing with Greenland. They out there playing with Greenland, right? Listen, man, listen. I'm not a cartoon. Your leaders are cartoons. I can show you what they do in cartoon games. Trump know who I am. He know who I am. Yeah, he do. I'm pretty sure he does. It don't surprise me. It don't mean nothing either. Because we going to take care of business. Trump can't have that real conversation with me, with the prophet. Y'all marrying children and you sitting up in the White House and you ain't do nothing about it. You ain't say nothing about it. But you doing everything else, messing around Greenland. You ain't messing around them child marriage laws, are you? But you mess around Greenland. Why don't you mess around them child marriage laws? Can't do that, can you? Okay, come on, stop playing, bro. Listen. Let me tell you something, man. Let me tell you something. Your leader cannot even have a real conversation with me. You realize that? Your leader can't have no real conversation with me. Okay, he can't. So we ain't gonna act like he can, right? We ain't gonna act like Trump can have these real conversations with me. No, he can't. let alone y'all. If your leader can't face me, you can't face me. You see how you do that? Oh, once I find weakness in your leader, that man, come on, listen, bro. I'm gonna get a Ronald McDonald bye-bye. He go like this, don't he? Let me get a Ronald McDonald bye-bye. Hey man, listen, man. Let me tell you something, man. Hey, you remember Ronald McDonald always have his hands up like this or something like this, or he go like this? Your president can't have no real conversations with me. Let's get this understood. So that goes for the police. See, that's where the prophet ranks. That's why I keep trying to show y'all. Okay, this ain't fabricated or exaggerated. It ain't fabricated or exaggerated. Your president can't have no conversation with me. How you funky out here trying to have some conversation with me? You can't do it. You can't talk to me. About what? Stuff you can't prove, psychological, psychic, telepath stuff? Come on. You can't be serious. See, ultimately, we live in the tangible world. So if you don't win in this world, you die in your world. That psychological world, you die in that world if you can't master this world. See how it works? And we mastered you, okay? Once you come out the psychological world, you come into the real world, you realize we won, okay? You're marrying children in the real world. Welcome back to the real world. Well, now I win. You see how you do that? You see how I do that there? You see how I do that there? You see how I do that there? Look, man, let me tell you something. Come back to the real world where we winning. You there yet? How far are you away? How far are you away? Listen, man. We smell blood. Y'all trying to play easy and be easy, right? But I smell blood, bro. You trying to be easy though, huh? You trying to be easy when all these games, all these wars going on. You trying to be easy when Trump playing with Greenland. You trying to be easy. When Trump got Maduro up here from South America. You trying to be easy, ain't you? We smell blood, bro. That's why we gotta stay on track. Listen, this is the calm before the storm. They wish misfortune on us. Why we wish misfortune on them. We wish misfortune on them. They wish misfortune on us. We wish misfortune on the Americans. We're not playing this game where they get to play and act cool and be out here and then begging for life when we come inside. When I come in here and I do videos and stuff after I run my errands, listen, they wish they be out there like they thugging. No, I'm serious. You know what I'm talking about. If you know what I'm talking about, the gang stalkers, and you've been through it. Listen, they out here like they thugging when they gang stalking, right? Like they the mob or whatever. Now when we come back inside, if you high ranking, what they doing? Begging for life again, right? It's the same thing. That's what I'm telling you. The psychics, telepaths, everything, they begging for life. When we in here, right? Then we go out there, they act like they thugging. Trying to impress the community, trying to impress these people. I ignore that. I don't have nothing to do with it. I come back in here and I state my ID and everybody see it's 100. That's it, man. You know, that's what it is. We go out there, they out there acting like they the mob. You know what I'm saying? Come on, man. I come back in here, they begging for life, bro. I want you to know. I come back in here, they begging for life, because they know we get it popping once I come back in here. They know it's on the way. Every time I go out there, I'm making a move. Every time I go out there, I'm making a move. They know when I come back in here, it's popping. They start begging like punks, man. And if you sit there and watch them do it, and you still act like they doing something, listen, you might as well be the chumps they are. You might as well be. You sitting there looking at them like a chump. Huh? You see and watch them. You see and watch them out there. Then they come in here and they begging for life. It shouldn't be confusing to you, man. These people playing a role out there to the streets, but then when we come in here and I start kicking, listen, I get back in the flow, I start fasting and seeking God again. Now listen, yo, I start seeking God again, fasting and seeking the Lord. Now listen, where they at then? Where they at now? Begging for life, bro. Begging for life, cuz. That's what I'm saying. Begging for life. They scared. You see what I'm saying? I know what I'm talking about. But if you wish misfortune on us, we wish misfortune on you. See, I figure you think I'm one of these docile people, these docile religious people. You got me summed up wrong, bro. I'm more spiritual than you. And when I wish misfortune on you, it's coming. Okay, listen, I'm free from American Christians. You ain't got no pit bull to sick on me from the Christian community, because I don't care about what they thinking. In fact, half of them washed up and don't realize what's going on with these gang stalkers and Freemasons, and they ain't addressing it. So I don't care I don't care if you bring them over here. All they gonna do is get educated. All they gonna do is see the signs that's in their own life that they being gang stalked. That's all they gonna see. They gonna see everything that I'm talking about and realize they going through the same thing, but they ain't know nothing about it. That's 7 hours. That's all I'm saying. All they gonna do is come over here and get educated. And you don't want that either. So see, you see how it's a catch-22. You can't tell them too much about me, and they find out it's real out here and see what's going on out here. You can't tell them. Okay, so I ain't worried about it anyway, because I know you ain't gonna tell them. Okay? Yeah, you don't need to know. Listen, man, one thing about it, in this situation with me, I already won. I already got results. It's no need to question. Listen, don't be ignorant. You know what I'm saying? Don't be ratchet, unprofessional. Don't apply that foolishness to the kingdom of God. Okay? It didn't work out there, and it's not gonna work in here. You're mediocre out there and you're mediocre in here. This is God's kingdom. This is the big boys. This is the biggest boys. This is who the millionaires run to. This is the kingdom that the millionaires run to. This is the kingdom that the billionaires talk about. They talking about Jesus Christ. They ain't talking about you. This is his kingdom. Okay? Okay, now you understand what the problem is. Oh yeah. There's fake Jesus religions, and then there's the real kingdom. Now, pick the one in the middle. Okay? Pick the one in the middle like you drunk. The one in the middle, that's the one. That's the religion. That's the true spirituality. Because you drunk on all the stupidness in your community. Okay, this ain't no game. I told you, this is drama. This is real drama. This is drama to you and your mama. Literally. Not a slick rap line. This is drama to you and your mama. Okay? And don't try to throw nobody else in it. We talking about them secret societies. We talking about you. This is drama to you and your mama. That's it. This ain't theatrics. This ain't the streets. This ain't the social media. I just use this as a platform to talk to many Christians as I can, to encourage them and to encourage myself. See, the smart man encourages himself. This encouraged me because I'm talking about things the way in the proper context, like they need to be talked about. So if you think I need an audience, no, I'm encouraging myself too. It's a good pastime for me spiritually. It's a good pastime to get the right words in the atmosphere, to get the right energy in the atmosphere. It works good, whether I got an audience or not. Oh, you didn't think that? You didn't realize that, did you? I go back and listen to the truth myself. I go back and watch these videos myself. See, a real master, he listened to his own messages anyway. Because ain't nobody saying it like I'm saying it. It ain't going to happen. I realize ain't nobody going to say it like I'm saying it. Especially in my situation. Tailor-made to my situation.
Yeah, see, man, let me explain something, man. You keep talking about yourself. Let me help you with something, because you're a little lame. This is not about you. You keep talking, you think we're focused on you. We're not focused on who you are, because we don't know you. You know what we focused on? We're focused on the violations. Not you, the violations. Now, if you're not smart, you don't know the difference. We're focused on the violations. That's it. You going on, you harping on, they hate us so much, they hate us, they hate who. I don't know you to hate you. I don't care about you to hate you. I care about these violations and nothing being done about it. Now you see the difference. We talk about the violations. We ain't talking about you. We don't know you. I don't know you. If I knew you, I would be talking all through you about you. I don't know. That's what I'm saying. That's the kind of personality I'll lay you up and lay you out like fish and fry you. If I knew you, I'd fry your whole life apart. Show you that you're nothing. But I don't know you well enough to do that, do I? So what I have to do is fry your violations. And them violations fry you. And that's how it works. Like a chef, the violations get up, oh, put you down. Violations the one fry you up, buddy. The violations turn to a chef and fry you. I fry the violations. It brings life to the violations. It takes on life in itself. It gets up, turns to a chef, and cook you. The violations take on life of itself, get up like a chef, and fry you. That's all we're doing. We talking about violations. That's it. That's all we talking about. Do I know your name? No. I don't know where you come from. I don't know your name. I don't know where your hometown is. I don't care where your hometown is. I'm looking at these violations. That's all I'm looking at. And it ain't no way in the world you think people gonna walk away. See, just when you thought America could save you, you realize they can't, don't you? They can't save you this time, buddy. America can't save you this time. Okay? Time to pay the piper. And God's gonna do it. As long as we stay humble, we stay like this, we stay just like this. Point A to point B like clockwork, making no mistakes, not talking to nobody, not bothering nobody. Point A to point B, right back in the house. They crying again. It's the same pattern, man. We ain't making no mistakes. That means this year, we ain't, listen, man, arguing with people, none of that, man. We don't care. I don't even care no more. Make sense? I don't care no more. They try to sabotage us, we don't care no more. We practice self-control, long-suffering. We don't care. We don't care about nothing they doing. See, that's what you gotta do. You don't care about nothing they doing. You don't care about nothing they talking about. Don't even worry about it. It don't even matter. You done figured it already out, ain't you? All right. Why it matter? Why does it matter? It don't. We already know what it is. And so what? Why I need to say something for? Why I need to entertain what they talk about? I don't. We sending $1 million to South America, man. Come on. It's $1 million for God's kingdom. This is God's kingdom. We the only thing united. Only thing we unite with is God's kingdom. $1 million down there to South America. Just admit it, man. You ain't seen nobody do it like we did. You know what I'm saying? We beat the Americans in ways y'all didn't think we was gonna beat them. They thought this was child's play. People looked at me like this was child's play. And you know what? I let them think that. That's what you do. You don't make an example out of somebody. Some people would. They go out there and make an example out of somebody. They think I'm playing, I go out there and make me an example out of somebody. Let them give them something to talk about. Give the streets something to talk about. Nah, that's okay. It's okay. Let them take you a little seriously. Nah, that's okay. That's okay. Because a soldier, I'm going to use that camouflage. And I'm going to do what I've been doing. Putting these offerings in the mailbox over and over again. You know how many years I count that we've been winning? The past 3 years. 20. That's why I know what I'm doing. And I'm watching what I'm doing. I ain't listening. I ain't one of them blind dudes, right? I pay attention to the weather. If you know what I mean. 2023, 2024, 2025, the past 3 years we've been winning on a whole nother level. I've been dumping that money in the mailbox for the past 3 years. Hundreds. For the past 3 years consistently. Hundreds of dollars in the mailbox every year for the past 3 years. They just now taking it seriously, as it should have been, as it should be taken seriously. They just now, this year, taking it seriously as it should be taken. When I first got in Brooklyn, I had money already. Listen, I had money already when I came in this room, and when I came back to Brooklyn, I had cash already. Understand? I was waiting. I needed to go out. I came here like 9 o'clock at night, right? 9 p.m. I came here around 9 p.m., right? So I knew I had a servant's offering to put up, because that's how I got here. I had cash to pay for my taxi and to get all my stuff, to bring all my stuff here. So I had enough cash to also have an offering, right? The first night I got here, literally, I put an offering in the mailbox the first night. The first night. That means not 24 hours, not 12 hours. I got here around 9. I was out there about 11 or 12, something like that. About that. 12-ish, 1-ish, somewhere around in there. Okay? That first offering was Poland. You know where we're at in Poland? The country Poland. 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 When I first came to Brooklyn, the first offering was Poland. I'm not playing. I don't do stuff where it's cool with black people. It's cool with the culture. I'm going to the cultures where it's cool. I'm over there in Europe, man. I'm working with Germany, Poland, England. And now look at the problem Trump got with Greenland. See that there? You see that there? You see that there? I was already working with Germany, Poland. First offering in Brooklyn, Poland. When you send money to Poland? Oh, you probably send money to Jamaica. When you send money to Poland, for any reason, you send money to Poland. Y'all send money to Poland. When I first came to Brooklyn, 3 months ago, my first offering, the first night I was here. Not 24 hours. You might get confused. I came here 9 p.m. By 12 o'clock in the morning, I was putting the offering in the same routine how you see I do. I was doing that 3-4 hours when I got here. As soon as I touched down, I already had an offering. I was just settling in here in this room and went out there to find out where the nearest mailbox. Didn't even know what was going on. I went out searching at nighttime in Brooklyn as soon as I got here. Come on, man. I had it in my hand, everything, put it in the mailbox, Poland. Oh, we got there. You put them 3 stamps on it. It's on to Poland. That's international mail, 3 stamps. Okay? Now, do you know where it was at in Poland? Out there where Hitler was at, in the concentration camps. That's why the Jews was hating on me and hating me in public. Oh, they into politics, I know. You think I'm stupid? Rabbi walking past me, calling me a pedophile, and I'm like, what? Hold up. I had to check him. I had to check a rabbi. I had to check a Jewish person. I don't care, bro. Listen, hey. I'm doing what Brooklyn dudes don't even do. I done checked me, one of them Jewish dudes out there. He in these politics with these suckers. Listen, hey, I heard what I heard, man. I heard what I heard. I know what I'm talking about, bro. I've been through it too much. I'm not schizophrenic, paranoid. I know what I'm talking about. I'm not mental or nothing. He said what he said. I pulled up on him. At first, I was like, hold up, man. This is a sucker, bro. That's what I'm saying. It's not gonna happen. I'm not gonna let no bozo play with me. You know you come from a whole different world than me. I come from a whole different world than you. Ain't no way in the world I can let that. I can't. Ain't no way in the world. So I ran up on him. You know how dudes are. I ran up on him, man. I snapped. I just ran up on him. That's why I'm saying I don't know from day to day what I'll do. Beware the dog, man. I just snapped. When I let it go, I walked past him. I just let it go a little bit, right? But then I thought about it, and I snapped, bro. I was just like, man, yo, I ran up on him. I already had weapons on me, bro. I had it on me. If he would have got out of pocket in any way, I had it right there on him. You know what I'm saying? Little did he know. That's what I'm saying. That's why I don't play with people, bro. I practice what I preach. I do not play with people. You don't know what their mind is at these days in 2026. You just think they going through the same motions or going through the shelter or whatever. You don't know what people's head is at, bro. I'm telling you. That's what I'm saying. I don't doubt nobody. People doubt me. They find out the hard way, bro. Every single time. Black people love how I get down. Listen, I impress black people. As a matter of fact, once I pulled up on that Jewish dude, it was two black dudes. I'm talking about these dudes was older than me. They might have been like early 50s, late 40s, early 50s, something like that. That's about right. So they like, yo, they in a huddle like on the block watching me pull up on this dude. I can't make this up. And they see me walk off, they like, yo. They seen the whole thing, they watched and everything. They know what time it is. They know the movement. They know when a dude start moving and stepping and running towards somebody. They know what time it is, man. You know what that move mean. You know what it mean, man. Nigga done grew up. Done grew up, bro. You don't invite me to foolishness. And the master I am. Because I'll make a fool out of you if you invite me to foolishness. And that's all I'm doing in this building. That's what I'm going to do in this neighborhood. You don't invite somebody like me to foolishness, buddy. I eat it. I put it on a plate. I saute it. I saute this. So guess what I did? The dude said, walk past me, man. I'm like, mind you, I just got me a pizza. They can't stand it when you eating. I'm telling you, man. It's some dude so petty, they can't stand for you to eat, bro. I got a big old extra large pizza, you know what I mean? I'm trying to show love. See, I came over here in Brooklyn, sharing love. They say that's the Brooklyn way, right? I came over here sharing love, showing love, everything, whatever. Until proven otherwise. Right? I'm going to show love until they prove me wrong for doing it. You know what I mean? I'm gonna let you be innocent to proven otherwise. You cool with me, then prove until proven otherwise. I came over here showing love. You know how you do when you come over here, you know what I mean? You get your little something to eat, buy a little stuff, walk around, you know what I mean? That's what I was. That's why, I look like I'm the away team, you know what I mean? But I'm out here showing love, buying my little stuff. As soon as they did that, I changed my whole tune, buddy. That was the first Saturday. After morning. Once they switched up, like they some African basketball team or some African soccer team, it's these fantasies in people's head, and they ain't got a bit of turn up, bro. That's the bottom line. I don't care if you African, you got turn up or you don't. If you don't, and I got weapons on me, you out of here. And you just a dead African. I dress who it is. That's who it is. They came out here like an African basketball team. They came out here like an African in Brooklyn, like they pulled up for Africans. And I'm from North Carolina. I'm 4 different types of African in one body. You 4 different types of African? Oh, I forgot. You don't even know what type of African you are. What type of African are you? I'm Nigerian. What kind of African are you? So you don't even know what type of African you are. So if you was around other Africans, you couldn't even tell them fluently what type of African you are. But you're blacker than me. Man, stop playing with me, bro. Yeah. Until you find out what type of African you are, I don't take you seriously. You're not the master I am. You might be 100, but you ain't the master I am. You gotta go find out where you come from. And until then, I rule. Imagine us taking you seriously and you don't even know what type of African. I mean, you can't even get into the conversations we get into. You're not, what tribe you come from? So you excluded, you got to stand there like a sucker while we talking about what tribes we come from. That's the 7 hour. You got to stand there like a sucker while we have these conversations. Well, you're just looking around. Yeah, that's good. You from where? Well, that's good. You from here? You're from there? He's from there? But where you from? Now we looking at you strange. Because while you doubt me having pride in who I am, I can say I know who I am. I'm part Nigerian. I'm 52% Nigerian, which means I'm more than half. I'm more Nigerian than anything. What you are? I'm more Nigerian than anything. So that means, as far as let me help you understand something. When somebody's mixed, like Drake, that's half and half. No disrespect, and there's nothing wrong with that. If you're 52% Nigerian, you're not half and half. That's more than half. I'm just educating you. I'm just educating you what biracial is. Biracial is half and half, for the most part. If it's if it's a white woman or someone or a white man or they're not African, then that's gonna be dominantly a European, right? The other part is gonna be African. That's half and half, where you can literally go do their DNA and it's just kind of balanced out. Me, I am more than half Nigerian. You know what more than half means? That can't be biracial. If you're 52%, let me help you understand something. If you're 51%, let's start at the beginning. 51% of anything, of any ethnicity, is not biracial. You can't be biracial 51%, buddy. Know your math. Understand math. You understand math, right? Okay, so biracial is you can't be more than half African and considered biracial. No. That's 52%. 52% is more than half, which means whatever else on the pie graph that I am, I'm more Nigerian than anything else, which speaks for itself. I'm Nigerian, which is African. So that defines me more than anything else. So I could just say I'm Nigerian. You can't. What are you? Oh, I left out 3 other types of African. I'm Sierra Leone. That's a percentage too. So I'm already 52% African. You see where I'm going with this? Sierra Leone, that's another 20-something%. Boom. Maasai, you don't even know that tribe of African. I've talked to other Africans. They don't even know what that is. Maasai, I'm Maasai tribe. Go educate yourself, sucker. What's Maasai? You're more African than me. What's Maasai? Man, come on, man. You a sucker, man. Come on, stop playing. You're dealing with a real sensei. The real thing, buddy. You can't come halfway. You can't come haphazard. Talking about nothing. You got to talk about everything intelligently. And if you don't talk about everything intelligently, leave it alone. I don't care what it is. You can't talk about the streets, leave it alone. That's why you know anything I talk about, I can talk about it intelligently. If I'm talking about it, I know about it. And I'm talking about it intelligently. Okay? Me, I'm 52% Nigerian. Right? Sierra Leone. Maasai. And general West African. Maasai is in East African. In East Africa. I'm West African and East African. I'm both. You know how much that make up of me? The 4 different types of African. That's most of who I am, bro. That's not biracial. I already told you I was 50%, 52% Nigerian. So most people gonna say, oh, I talked to one black woman, she said, oh, I wish I was more than half of African. Some way she put it like that, because everybody's not. I'm 52% Nigerian, meaning I'm Nigerian, I'm more Nigerian than anything else. Okay? Let's get that understood. I'm 3 different other types of African. Maasai. Do you know what Maasai is? M-A-A-S-A-I, Maasai. You know what Maasai is? You don't, do you? Okay. That's what I'm saying, bro. Brooklyn, you know what Maasai is? No, you don't. You don't know what Maasai tribe. The Maasai, which is an African warrior tribe. I'm from the African warrior tribe, Maasai. I talked to a real African man. You know what I mean? I said, yo, I told him, I said, I'm part Maasai. He said, oh, I know about Maasai. The African man said, oh, I know about Maasai. Yes, sir. I bet he was impressed. That I even see, I talk to Africans like that. Yeah, I'm part Maasai. He said, I know about Maasai. Yeah, I mean, that's the first initial conversation you should be having with Africans. What type of tribe of African you come from? What tribe of African you come from? You can't have that conversation first. They gonna want to know. Like, I mean, think about it. You looking at all these African people, you from Africa. Like, what tribe is that? What tribe is this? This is what you thinking. Think about it. Yeah, I told him I was like part Maasai. He was like, yeah, I heard about Maasai. So I've actually talked to an African, and they took what I said seriously. They understood what I was talking about. See what I'm saying? See what that's the difference. Listen. That's the difference between you and I. Don't play yourself, man. Don't play yourself. Don't put yourself out there and humiliate yourself. Okay, get yourself together. Go find out who you are. That's the first step for bitter butthurt Africans against me in America. First of all, go find out who you are, and then come back and get back at me. You know what I'm saying? I don't take no competitors. You don't know who you are. Okay? Go find out who you are first, and get back to me. Okay? I do not deal with people that's mystery cans. You a mystery can. Well, tell us where you come from. No, see, listen, bro. If I don't do this, there's arrogant people that you don't know that think they a master to me. They just waiting for me to rise up so they can show themselves. You can show yourself right now. And guess what? When you show yourself, I guarantee you don't know who you are. Who you are? What tribe of African you come from? Then you're not qualified to go to war with me, buddy. Not like you're trying to do it, no. Because when 2 tribes of African go to war, listen, the first thing I'm gonna ask you, what tribe you come from? Because you know what? I also want to put the liabilities where they belong. I want to put the liabilities where they belong. What tribe you come from? Okay, we're gonna mark that tribe. We're gonna curse that tribe. Yeah. Yeah, I'm serious. Okay. What tribe you come from? What tribe you come from? I have to know. I want to know. I want to know. All these dudes online talking about, you know what I mean? All these rappers, what tribe you come from? What tribe you come from? All these 5%ers. What tribe? What tribe? I ain't talking about you being a 5%er. What tribe you come from? I'm talking about that African part. I'm talking about that, not the 5%er part. I don't want to know none of that stuff. I know about Clarence X. Yo, come on, man. Give me some credit. I just rap. I just spit information. I don't have a script. You thought I had a script somewhere? I swear I thought he had a script. I thought he had a script. Clarence X. I know about Clarence X. leader of the 5%ers, Clarence X, where his father was still smoking and drinking, and they still could smoke and drink. When you're supposed to be the temple of God. Come on, man. Come on. Oh, well, that's it right there. That's all I gotta say. You're supposed to be the temple of God. Right. There you go. I ain't gotta say nothing else. I know about Clarence X and the 5%ers. I don't want to know about it though. I don't want you to talk about it. I want you to talk about no further than what I know. Listen, I don't want you to talk about no further than I know. I want you to tell me what tribe of African you come from. You don't know. Okay, see, right there, buddy. You disqualified. You disqualified, buddy. That's what I'm saying. You see, this is the Olympics. You played yourself coming to play with me and what? A stick? You came with a stick. Well, I came with a gun. I came with a gun, a stick as in a gun. See, I went a little up. I leveled up on you, didn't I? I leveled up on you. I got them sticks. I leveled up like a phone video game. If you're smart, you know I'm challenging you to go find out who you are, man. You talking about you a 5%er? You talking about whatever you talking about? You talking about you stand for being black, man? We so far confused and removed from being what it is to be African, it ain't even funny. So the first step, when you step out here in the wild, this is the wild. You step out here in the jungle, know who you are. First step first. I know who I am. I can talk about it intelligently. I'm more Nigerian than anything else. When we break it down, I talk to somebody from Africa. Okay, you this African? Well, what's the most African you are? Oh, okay, so you basically Nigerian. That's what people gonna say. Oh yeah. You're more Nigerian than anything else. You're part of Maasai. Oh, that's the warrior tribe. They warriors. They were warriors. Maasai. That's East African. So I'm West African and East African. It's easy to assume that you're just West African because of the transatlantic slave trade, right? Of course, it's easy to say, well, I'm probably West African, right? But you don't know your whole story of your family. How could you know? How could you just know? You don't know. Your bloodline is the story of your family. Your bloodlines is the story of your family, how they migrated through different countries and different places and different continents. So your bloodline represents the whole story of how your family migrated. Okay? So you couldn't possibly know that story. You couldn't possibly know how they migrated to different places. It's impossible. You go and you check the DNA to find the story of your family. Okay? After that your journey begins. Your journey do not begin like I do it until you first know who you are. And you can talk about it intelligently. Now you can travel the world and tell people who you are and where you come from. And you can't do what I can do. You can't do that. You see? This has to be known. This has to be understood. Because I don't take sucker shots, sucker punches from competitors. And we know them, they not on these levels. So even if you beat me in a fight, who gonna respect you over me? When I know where I come from, when I know I'm Nigerian and you don't, what are you? What are you? So even if you got a sucker punch on me, who's gonna vouch for you over me? This guy knows who he is. He knows. White people gonna respect it. The Italians gonna respect it. He knows where he come from. Yeah, he ain't just some person with a label. This guy knows what countries he come from. He know what countries his family come from. What countries your family come from? That's all I'm asking. That's all I'm asking. That's what I'm asking. Go find that out. And then come back to me and talk about it intelligently. Until then, I rule. Okay? That's how it is. No one knows where they come from. See, how it's supposed to happen? Your greatest leaders were supposed to section everyone off according to their tribes after they did their DNA in the United States of America. We did not section each other off in tribes. And you could have had high-ranking people that could have done it by looking at the features of the people. There's some people that come from Africa that can look at the features and they can tell, okay, these people come here. Think about it. That's how they was kind of doing it. No, I'm serious. How you think they knew? They knew. They went by the features. But we kind of mixed up over here, more than just African, right? So it gets a little tricky. What your leaders didn't do was section you off in different tribes. So what you needed was a leader to say, us as African Americans, what we gonna do, us as a whole unit, we gonna go and do DNA tests. Somebody like Farrakhan, somebody like that level. And they want the whole black community, bring them together, rally like the Million Man March, and tell them, when you leave here, we want you to go and do your DNA test. Okay? We gonna form online. We gonna put everybody in these categories. We gonna start social media platforms for each tribe. You go to your tribe, you connect with your people. See how this go? You connect with your people on the internet. You get to know your own tribe. Because the reason why we have confusion in America is because of the confusion of tribes. That's why the vibration is not the same. If you're Nigerian and another person is Ethiopian, that's not the same vibration. That's why we have confusion in the killing, because of the confusion of tribes. The vibration is not the same. If you are Nigerian and someone else is Ethiopian, you're not gonna move. That vibration is not exactly the same. You know what I mean? Some of your best friends probably come from your tribe. People you always love, I guarantee you, they probably come from your tribe. The ones you didn't connect with, the Africans you didn't connect with, I guarantee you they don't come from your tribe. No, because they would think like you. So all you wind up saying is we all black. No, but we're not all from the same tribe. Because we would have the same understanding. I mean, you wouldn't know this as black people because we're not sectioned off. You see the Puerto Ricans, they feel like one big family. You know why? Because it's one vibration. You see the Jamaicans, they're one vibration. The Haitians, one vibration. The Ethiopians, one vibration. Why they don't got no problems? Because it's unity of the tribe. The tribe is in unity. It's the same vibration. They interacting with the same vibration. Don't you think it's funny that you don't see no Jamaicans killing each other and killing their own families and all of that stuff? Not really. You don't see that in America, do you? And they kind of a dense population in the overall American community, right? Why don't you see the killing like we killing each other as African Americans? You know why you don't see it? Because it's unity and harmony of the tribe. They're more dangerous. Jamaicans are more dangerous, more thoroughbred. Why don't they have problems like we do? Because it's harmony of vibration. They have less harmony than we do. They got more harmony, right? Where they understand each other. Like it's like a whole big family. How y'all gonna have problems? Y'all gonna fight it out like brothers. You ain't gonna kill each other. You're gonna fight it out like men. And if you lose, you lose. You don't kill the person. You fight it out. You might ask them to run that back like old school, and you fight again. The reason why we have disharmony and confusion is because African Americans have not sectioned off in tribes, and I'm the only leader that told you to do it. I'm the only leader that told you. Farrakhan didn't even tell you. Martin Luther King Jr. didn't tell you. Malcolm X didn't tell you. No, they did not. Malcolm X didn't tell you to section off in tribes. MLK didn't tell you to section off in tribes. Farrakhan didn't tell you to section off in tribes. Al Sharpton didn't tell you to section off in tribes. Jesse Jackson didn't tell you to section off in tribes. Nobody told you to. And why is it important? Because a spiritual person understands that until we section off, it's chaos with the vibrations. It's chaos with the vibrations. This ain't no bull, buddy. This ain't no, listen, I can stop the video right there. You know I ain't playing, bro. You as a community did not find your tribe where you can feel like one big family like the rest of the world. Puerto Ricans, why you think they move like they do, they love each other? Because it's the same vibration. It's like having these sisters and brothers and everything everywhere. We don't know nothing about it. The Cubans, why you think they love each other? You see what I'm saying? You see the pattern there they get along. The Irish, all these different people, the Italians. Why you think there's no confusion, a whole bunch of killing, crazy killing? Because there's harmony within their tribes where they are like brothers. They're like sisters and brothers. They understand, they can feel that thing, man. We don't feel that except for with our family. That's why I meet our biological family. Right? But if we were sectioned off in tribes where the most dominant tribe you come from, you go with them. For me, I would go with the Nigerians. Because I'm 52% Nigerian, which means I'm more Nigerian than anything else. So I'm going to relate to them more. Their vibration ain't going to rub me the wrong way. See, the truth is you getting rubbed the wrong way from different tribes and you don't know how to articulate it. That's what it is. They're African, but they're not your tribe. They're not from the same country. It's a different country. It's like Europe. It's like saying we're all from Europe. Okay, then where in Europe? Okay, you're Scottish. I'm Irish. Don't mean we both from Europe, we're going to get along with each other. You have an Irish vibration. I have a Scottish vibration. That it doesn't guarantee we're going to get along with each other. That's not the same tribe. That's not the same vibration. African American have multiple vibrations, various vibrations within one tribe of people, and that's why they don't get along with each other. Because they were not taught after slavery to section off in tribes. They weren't taught that. Their leaders did not say, we all gonna get our DNA. I'm gonna set it up for you. You're gonna come down here and you're gonna get your DNA. When you take this DNA, we gonna meet again. Let's say before the internet. We gonna meet again and I'm gonna name off different tribes in front of this whole community crowd. And when I tell you Nigerians over here, you go over there. When I tell you people from Kenya over here, you go over there. Let's just say Farrakhan, this is how he would do it. When you from Ethiopia, you go over here. Now, we're going to have the rest of this conference. When you come back here, this is the first day. Let's say we have this for like a month. We're going to do this for a whole month. You're going to get your rooms. You got all your room, you know what I mean? We'll pay, we'll help you. Get you in the room. We're going to stay together. You're going to stay with your tribe. You're going to feel the difference about being around a whole bunch of Nigerians. You're going to look them in their face like your brothers and sisters. You're going to say, oh, I see it. I see what we was missing in America. We did not identify ourselves nor identify with a tribe. You see the job the prophet got to do? You see this? You see this? Nigerians over here, the Ethiopians. Now you're going to feel what it feels like to be with your vibration. Those who really have your vibration. That's why there's no harmony. That's why we hate each other, because it's different tribes. I know these people ain't from my tribe. I know that because you don't think like I do. You don't feel, I don't feel that same feeling. You don't got the same vibration as me. I don't have the same vibration as you. And that's what it is. That's why we at each other's necks all the time. That's what it is. That's all it is. Once you go with the Nigerians, or you go with the Ethiopians, or you go with Sierra Leone, or people from Kenya, people from South Africa, wherever, Zimbabwe, right? Ghana. You know what I'm saying? You start going with these different, your tribe, right? Now you feel like that's your brother. Like, man, I was thinking, y'all have conversations, you bouncing off of him like he your brother. Now you in the real world. Why these people love each other so much. We don't understand why other people love each other so much. No, digest that. Ooh, that hit the bottom of your soul, didn't it? Hit the bottom of your heart. You don't know why people love each other so much. Because you didn't never experience the camaraderie of similar vibrations. Where it's like, basically, that feels like your family. But it's a whole group of people. We never felt this whole family unit with a whole crowd of people. Nope, it's confusion. It's confusion of the tribes in America. See, it's a spiritual problem. That's why only the prophet can address it. Because it's no way you can even understand what the problem is without looking at it from a spiritual aspect. The problem is confusion of the vibrations. If I know I don't get along with you, and then I realize you're not Nigerian, I know why. Now I know why. Oh, he's not Nigerian. That's what the problem is. He's not Nigerian. That's what it is. Oh, he's Ethiopian. Oh, that works. That makes the most sense in the world. I'm Nigerian, you're Ethiopian. Now we have those kind of arguments. I'm Nigerian, you're Ethiopian. That's what the problem is here. That's what this is all about. Yep. We figured it out. But you trying to figure out why this person is not your brother like he's supposed to be. You know why? Because he ain't from the same tribe. That's why. I mean, even if you look at Tupac and Biggie, Pac and Biggie was not from the same tribe. Biggie was Jamaican. Something that a lot of American people didn't know. You know, they're not conscious of it if they're not a fan of Biggie. You know what I'm saying? If they wasn't a fan of Biggie, you ain't gonna know he was Jamaican. Right? Those who know, like a real fan of Biggie, you know, New Yorkers know he was Jamaican. So that's not the same vibration as Pac. Pac was African American. I think he probably was Nigerian because of his bold personality. I think he was probably Nigerian. Loud, bold. That's how I think so. But you see how Biggie moved. Laid back, cool. Wasn't the same vibration. That's all it was. It's not the same vibration. Because if y'all was really from the same country, you would be like brothers. You had the same vibration, you'd be like brothers. He would have an understanding. He would be thorough. He wouldn't be doing funny stuff. See, the part that nobody wants to admit with Tupac was that Pac told Biggie this was for to sell records. He told him this was to sell records. That's the lamest thing you could have said. He could have said, we doing this to, he said, I'm doing it. A Jamaican confronted this man like a Jamaican supposed to. He confronted him. Pac didn't know who he was. Biggie knew who he was. Biggie was closer to knowing who he was than Pac. Pac didn't know what tribe he came from. He would have been talking about it. He would have implied it in his music. Big Pac lived and died not knowing what tribe he came from. Tupac Shakur lived and died and didn't even know what tribe he came from. Biggie knew he was Jamaican. No, nothing. Listen, you ain't hear that. You ain't hear that. You ain't hear it, bro. Biggie knew he was Jamaican, right or wrong. Okay. Pac didn't know who he was. No, we applying this when I'm talking about knowing what tribe you come from. Pac did not know what tribe of African he was from. Biggie knew who he was. They were from two different tribes, two different vibrations. If they were brothers, it wouldn't have happened. They were from, this is how you need to hear it. They were from two different countries. You say brothers, you say no, they was not brothers. That's your problem. You call everybody African your brother. Everybody African ain't your brother. Your brother is your tribe. Now you can say we're all African, whatever. I mean, but that's like going to South American and saying we're all South American, and then you got Colombians and Brazilians and you know what I mean? Are we all brothers? I mean, we can say we all Latino, I guess, We all Latinos, but you see, it's not gonna go that far. That's what you've been doing. That's what you've been doing, bro. That's what you've been doing. That's your brothers, is your tribe. That's solid. That's for sure. So if you Jamaican, if Pac was a Jamaican, when him and Biggie talked, he would say, "Yo, what the problem is?" Biggie would have told Pac. Pac would have said, "Yo, I thought you set me up, man. I thought you robbed me, man. I think you did that, and that's what this is all about, man. Cause that's the truth. I think you set me up for them people to coming down there, and that's what the problem is, man. That's what it is, man. I can't get past it. I think you had something to do with it. It's impossible for me to believe you ain't had nothing to do with it." And then he would have assured him. He would have said stuff, and he would have assured him. But they two different kind of brothers. That's all. That's what I'm saying. They from two different tribes. That's why that's why it couldn't work out. If it was two Jamaicans, that would have worked out. It would have worked out, man. Because one would have confronted the other eventually. Biggie confronted him, and Pac talking about, "Well, I'm just trying to sell records." What tribe is that? What tribe of African is that? You just trying to sell records? But you jumping on here talking about this, you had sex with his wife, etc., woo, woo, woo. That's the part that nobody don't want to talk about. They don't want to talk about how Pac talked about selling records. That's why he doing all this to Biggie. Which means Biggie won as far as the art of war. That's just what it is. Most of these people that are at each other's necks, they are not brothers. I'm keeping 100. They're from different tribes of African. Okay? Your brother is your tribe. If I can't encourage you for any other reason to do this, because you're going to find out who in the world is your brothers. We can make that the title. Who in the world is your brothers? Who in the world is my brothers? Who in the world is my brothers? And you go find now, oh, okay, I'm Nigerian. So guess what? I'm gonna hang around Nigerians and I'm gonna see my vibration connect with theirs and see like, oh man, they move like me. Okay, this dude, he cool, he over here African too, but nah, they like me. That's like my sister right there. I don't even want to have sex with her. That's like my sister. That's like my homie. I don't even want to have sex with her. I ain't even trying to holler at her. I just enjoy the camaraderie. I enjoy the camaraderie. Like, I ain't even trying to have sex with her. I ain't gonna mess up that camaraderie, right? You don't know what it's like to find your tribe, buddy. And it might sound, listen, for some people, it might sound commercial to you. And I don't see how. But I don't see how that can. Because this is why you was not able to experience this harmony and love and unison and all this this proper vibration. This is why you wasn't able to experience it, because you wasn't with your people, you wasn't with your tribe. You was hit and miss with these dudes out here. You was hit and miss with these people out here. And that's why you didn't experience it. If you would have found your tribe, it would be like, oh, okay. Okay, that's my tribe right there. Yeah. Nigerians, yeah, they move like me. They think like I do. Now y'all gonna be twins? No, I mean, you know, but it's gonna be like family. We don't even know what that's like. No, you don't. You don't know what that's like. And see, what would have been a beautiful thing is we would have found not just the Nigerians in Nigeria, we would have found the Nigerians over here that's Americanized, that talk like us, but they Nigerians. It's like, oh, you a Nigerian too? Oh yeah, I'm a Nigerian. Okay, dang. Not only am I gonna connect with Nigerians, I'm gonna connect with the African American Nigerians. You know what I'm saying? And it's gonna be the understanding of being born in America, having a little other different things in our vibration and everything like that. It's gonna be perfect. And see, that's what would have made the camaraderie, the unison of the tribes, that would have made us more powerful beyond this world. But I believe the white man and his genius knew if I kept confusion in the tribes, they would be able to do nothing. If they are confused about who they are and they don't unify and section the tribes off and build real divisions of tribes, they ain't gonna be able to do nothing. Because their vibration is not going to be identical just because they came from Africa. It ain't going to be identical. So one of my original messages is that I feel like that we should have sectioned off in tribes. We should have sectioned off in tribes, and we would be, for the foundation is for us to move on a higher level of productivity. We would have been more productive. Here's the next phase. We would have been more productive if we would have been sectioned off in tribes. Nigerians would have, if we would have sectioned off as the Nigerians, the Ethiopians, you would have seen more production, more productivity, more productive men and women if we would have been sectioned off in tribes. Now, when you want to come all together, we can do that too. But you see, you know what's going to happen really? You're going to be with your people, just like in Africa. I mean, Africa love each other, but at the end of the day, you're going to go back to Nigeria. You know what I'm saying? You ain't going to go over there to Ethiopia. You're going to get lost in Nigeria. You're going to be over there with all your people. That's basically what would have happened. Once you understood this, the harmony of tribes, then you would have stayed over there. You were like, yo, I'm cool over here. Man, I could drink with my homies. I'm over here with them and I'm just loving it, man. The camaraderie, like, it's crazy. This is like, yo, he just like my cousin. Just like my cousin. You're gonna be talking like that. Yeah, she just like my auntie, man. Like, just like her. And see, that's what people experience in these different, in different tribes. They experience that harmony, man. And it's like, how can I fight? How can I do something to this person? You're gonna get drunk and be like, how can I do something to you, man? I can't, you know what I mean? I love you, man. I can't. Think about them different tribes, that's how they gonna be, bro. You know how it is when you get drunk. Yeah, man, you know, I mean, how can I do something to you, man? I mean, you know. So, you know, man, you be ready to cry and everything. You be drunk and be about to cry. Oh, you ain't been there before? See, that's when you done got on the real level right there, boy. You did something right. You did it right. You got it right. You just right. Cause alcohol, if you drink it, if you dosage, see, that's the problem in the black community. We don't dosage alcohol right. If you dose it right, you gonna go right to the next level. You gonna go to the elevate. You gonna elevate right. But people don't dose it right. They drink one, and then they got the music going, and the music encourages you to drink more. I know what I'm talking about, man. A nice song. Oh yeah, give me another drink. I love that song. Everybody do it. Yeah, give me another drink, man. The song just inspired you to do another dosage. But if you do it just right, you go all the way up and elevate, right? You go all the way in elevation. And when you elevate, you're going to get somewhere every single time you drink. Now listen. Alcohol is in the Bible, right? The Bible says this: drink and remember your poverty no more. Let a poor man drink and let him remember his poverty no more. So if he forget his poverty, which is ever before him, he has to be drunk. He has to be tipsy. Can we agree with that? It's just not that he's like not alcohol. He ain't alcohol poison. But if he drinks and he forgets his poverty, then how can he not be drunk? How can he not be tipsy? You just gotta have the right person and people to teach you how to elevate to where you go all the way up, and then you get what you need. And that's what people are trying to do. Every time people drink, really their soul is trying to get them somewhere. But what happens is we got so much confusion in our community that while you're trying to go elevate, when you're trying to elevate, what happens is that you get pulled down by confusion or something going on in your personal life. So while you're trying to go up drinking, you're trying to elevate. Most people that do drugs and alcohol are trying to elevate. They're not taught to do it the right way. When you go to like South America, they used to eat, well, we know they used to eat the coca leaves and everything like that for energy and things like that. But they used to have all the different types of different hallucinogens and different things, drugs, and they would do it to elevate, right? And in that elevation, they would get understanding on what they need to do, their next move in life, as a collective tribe and as individual. This is why men did it in the past. They didn't drink. They didn't do drugs to just do drugs. They did drugs to elevate, to get ideas and to be inspired, to get almost this spiritual information, right? And that was the purpose. Like, and men are still the same. Many of them are trying to get answers for their life. Their soul is trying to, and the drugs has the potential, the alcohol has the potential to take them somewhere. But what happens is they don't have the right environments to do it. You got to have an environment to elevate. You got to have the right people to elevate. And see, some people don't have the discipline to do that. You know, you're going to elevate with the wrong people. They don't know what you're trying to do. They don't know the concept. It's like, okay, when I sit down to this bottle, I'm trying to go up. We're trying to have a great night. We're trying to get somewhere. We're trying to get free. We're trying to get free from whatever, all the stuff we went through in the past week or so. Okay, it's the weekend. We're trying to get past that stuff. Some people do not know how to elevate with alcohol. You know what I'm saying? They don't know how to elevate with weed. You don't smoke weed and then start confusion or start talk about crazy stuff. You know what I'm saying? You smoke. I'm not saying to do it. I'm not condoning it. But I'm showing you how it's supposed to be done. You know what I'm saying? You're supposed to smoke and create an environment where you can elevate. As you're elevating, you're going to get ideas. You're going to experience what Jamaicans call I, right? Where you can see yourself. With me, I call it, I'm from North Carolina. What I to me, when a Jamaican explained it to me, like 15 years ago, a Jamaican explained it to me like 15 years ago, like I. You know, you smoke weed, you get I, right? Where you basically see into yourself, and you people in America know what I'm talking about. You smoke a blunt and then you go look in the mirror, right? You ever done that? And you see how you can get your game tight. You know what I'm saying? You see how you can get yourself together. What could you do better? You know what I'm saying? You know, you elevating on who you are as a person. That's I. That's what's happening. I call it, when I was a kid, I call that getting game. When you smoke weed, you get game. You know what I'm saying? That's what I call it. I made up my own little term for it. So, but I used to do it. I used to like smoke weed and then look in the mirror. You know what I'm saying? Then when I got older, I used to do it, make nice fly hairstyles. You know what I'm saying? You just fixing your head, doing little stuff and everything. Stuff, you elevating yourself, like going to the next level and doing all kind of stuff. But we call it getting game. I get game when I get high. You know what I'm saying? I don't just sit there and I'm high. I get game. You know what I'm saying? I get game on how to be better. I get game on how to be better for me and everything like that, and how to be a better person, how to get my look together, all this stuff. I'm thinking about all of this. People do it. When you get high, you turn on your little music. Now you're looking in the mirror, whatever. That's I. That's what it is. You know what I mean, right? So it's like you getting game. How you would say it in America, you getting game. Game, like better game. Like you getting better game. You know what I'm saying? And you get game on how to be a better person, how to get yourself together, how to go through life together. You get game when you get high. You know what I'm saying? And then when I met a Jamaican, I already knew what it was, but I just said it differently. And I made that up myself. Nobody else didn't tell me. I just realized I get game when I get high. Like I just, I just think about stuff. I be thinking about life. I be thinking, you know what I mean? And that's the right way to do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, and if you with somebody else, you're supposed to do it like, put the right movies on, the right movies of inspiration, the right music. I'm not saying do it. Now, like I said, okay? But you put the right vibration in the air and boom. Now, you walk away. You feel good. You just chill with the homies. You feel real good. You're inspired. You're empowered. And your camaraderie with your homies is like 1,000. Way better. See, you're around other vibrations and spirits. You know what I'm saying? And really, you're all waiting to go somewhere. That's why everybody smoke weed and drink. Because it's all for the elevation. And most people can't articulate it, what you're trying to do. What you're trying to do is go up all the way and have this climax, like, yeah, but really, you're only going to feel that if you get certain information and understanding. And so that's where it gets tricky. In a party, how you going to get that? When everybody's dancing and right? How you going to get this vibration? How you going to get this? How you going to get this moment? You got to be paying attention to yourself. And see, that's when you become like more of a sensei. Okay, I'm here partying with everybody, but I'm finna get this moment, like boom. Now I got something. Oh, I might go write it down, put it in my phone. What you doing? Yeah, I hold on. Doing something. Back to party. Boom. That's how it should be. You teach your homies to do the same thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, cause you get ideas. You might get all kinds of stuff. You might get an invention, everything. Because that's when your mind is going to come out of the orthodox pattern that it's usually in. And when you're intoxicated, your mind is in the unorthodox pattern. Now you can think about all kind of ideas to get money and different. Yo, I didn't think about that. How you think about it? Well, I was high the other day, and I thought about this. You know how many people get high and they think about all kind of ideas? Y'all know the type. They sit around, write stuff down. Yo, I'm just writing stuff. I'm in my vibe or whatever. I'm writing all this kind of stuff down. I'm getting these ideas. I'm high. You know what I'm saying? Especially musicians. Musicians smoke weed, start writing all kind of ideas, make beats, everything. You know what I mean? You're getting stuff. You're getting stuff as you elevate, right? When you drink, you can do that even more. But see, some people don't know how to dosage. Some people don't know how to do it. You know what I'm saying? And what spirit, you gotta find what spirit you go with. What's your spirit? Everything is not for you. That's why you can't go with everybody else drink. You gotta feel it. You gotta feel, how does it make me feel? How does this make me feel? I mean, if I feel sluggish when I drink that. I feel sluggish when I drink this. I feel irritable when I drink this. But when I drink this, I got energy. Really, how you know? Whatever spirit you got that energy with, that's the one for you. When you out there talking, yeah, man, yeah, that's for you. keep that coming. That's what you're supposed to drink. But if I'm telling you, this is with liquor. But if you feel that sluggish feeling, like that liquor feeling, you don't supposed to feel that. You're supposed to be able to drink, and people don't, like, how you can drink like that? Because that's your spirit. That's the spirit you're supposed to drink. If you feel that liquor feeling, you don't supposed to ever feel that. That's how you know what you're supposed to connect with. You're supposed to connect with what you don't feel like you're drinking liquor. If you feel that sluggish feeling, that's probably not that's the sign, that's the telltale sign that's not the spirit for you. You're forcing yourself to drink that. And that's why you feel like crap. That's why you don't respond right. Most of the times, nah, that's not for you. It's not that liquor is not for you. You're drinking the wrong spirit. I guarantee you, that's what it is. And when you're a young man, you're supposed to go through a whole bunch of different spirits. By the time you see you a certain age, you're supposed to know what you drink. That's how a person's supposed to grow up. As a grown man, now you're supposed to know, okay, I drink this, I drink that. I don't drink this, I don't drink that. And people can tell you when they get a certain age, I don't do this, I don't do that, I don't drink that, I don't mix this, I don't mix, which means I don't drink beer and liquor. If I drink beer and liquor, I know I'm trying to get drunk. I'm just saying. Everybody know that. If I drink, whatever I'm drinking, I have to stay on that same vibe the whole night. If I start drinking beer, it's a beer night. But then I can push the limits and then throw a couple shots in there. You know what I mean? You know how it go. But somehow, when you mix beer and liquor, you're trying to get drunk. You're definitely trying. You're definitely trying to get drunk. Wine too. Wine and liquor, you're trying to mix the two. You're trying to get drunk, bro. But see, whatever one you start out with, the next one you gotta sip. And I never understood this. This is why you see some people with a beer with a straw in it. Like, why? I am not finna sip this like why? I'm gonna chuck this beer. But see, they already drunk on liquor. So by the time you get a beer, you just sipping it. And that's how you're supposed to do it. If you do mix, you're supposed to sip. The second, the latter, whatever it is, whatever you end it with, you're supposed to sip that. Even if it's a beer. If you started out with beer and you start drinking liquor, you're supposed to sip it. You don't chuck it the same way, and that's how people mess up. You see what I'm saying? Like, I learned this all from life, just living long enough. I didn't know that. I didn't know, well, you actually can mix, but you just gotta sip the latter. You gotta go take it easy on the switch. You know what I mean? And when you do that, it balances out just right, bro. But what's gonna get you is you already turned. You already turned up. And it's gonna be hard to sip that beer. You're gonna be sipping, drinking. Because you already intoxicated. But the Bible says, let a poor man drink strong drink and remember his poverty no more. Let's go to it. Because I want you to get free from religion and realize real spirituality. Because see, a prophet is up there where people want answers, right? And that's why they go to all these spiritual people, because they want answers. The prophet is held back by religion, not by Christianity, by religion, to where he can't talk to religious people. Okay, let's read this. This is Proverbs, the 31st chapter. And I'm going to start with the third verse. I just like how it sounds. It's going to be Proverbs 31, 3 through 7. 3 through 7. Proverbs 31, 3 through 7. Don't give your strength to women or your power to those who ruin kings. It is not for kings, Lemuel. It is not for kings to drink wine or for rulers to crave liquor. Otherwise, they drink and forget what they have decreed and change the standard of justice for all oppressed people. Give liquor to a person who is dying, and wine to one who feels resentful. Such a person drinks and forgets his poverty and does not remember his trouble anymore. Such a person drinks and forgets his poverty. So if you forget your poverty, you got to be tipsy. See, there's Christians that talk like, well, if you drink, you don't supposed to feel nothing. Well, right here it shows me you do. Right here it shows me you do supposed to feel something, because what's the purpose? Man, come on, hold on, listen. Proverbs, the 31st chapter, the 6th through the 7th verse. Proverbs 31, 6 through 7. Give liquor. It says liquor. Can you believe that? You can go to a preacher and say, what are you going to say? Wine. Oh, no, you're supposed to drink number wine. That Merlot, that's all you can get, that Merlot. Ain't nothing wrong with Merlot, but this say liquor. And how you know it's not confused about wine and liquor, because if you go to the 4th verse, it says, it is not for kings, Lemuel. It is not for kings to drink wine or for rulers to crave liquor. So it's two different, it's distinguished right there. Give liquor, the 6th verse, give liquor to a person who is dying, and wine to one who feels resentful. So liquor to a person who is dying, and wine to one who feels resentful. This is grown man. This is a grown man preaching right here. You understand? This is a grown man preaching, because what you've been dealing with is a lot of people who can't handle drinking, and that's not our fault. If you a person that can't handle drinking, and some of these Christians could have been tipsy, making love to their wife, drinking liquor, and a couple could be drinking together, making love, good love together, making love. And you held them back because you told them it was a sin because you couldn't handle it. Because you was a raging alcoholic. Now you told the whole congregation it's a sin because you was a raging alcoholic. And then guess what? You can't talk about it and preach about it and educate them because you was a raging alcoholic. So you ain't gonna never teach them this part right here. You see what I'm saying? This is why I believe in getting in the word for yourself. So at the preacher, the church you go to, if he had a problem with drinking, that don't mean you got a problem with drinking. That don't mean you can't handle it and you don't fall all apart and lose your family because of alcohol. That might not be, listen, that's his problem. He can't drink no more, and that's him. But you might be able to have table wine, Merlot with your woman, and make love. Y'all have great, make love great. Drink some 2 bottles of Merlot, and y'all feeling great. I mean, that's what people want to do anyway. Be 100. Man, come on. That's what you want to do anyway. You want to drink a little wine and make a little love, don't you? Yes, you do. Come on. Stop playing. Stop playing with me, bro. That's what you want to do. But you've been held to religion, and then that's why I love the Bible, because a religious book ain't gonna tell you that. It's too accurate with real life. Now go to a religious book. It ain't gonna tell you nothing about drinking no alcohol. You're gonna be miserable. Some of y'all do need to drink, man. Listen, man, I'm just being honest with you. If you drink a little bit, man, you'll be good. You'll be cool. You'll be more relaxed. You'll sleep good. Even if you're still kind of worried about, you'll sleep so good, you sleep all that stuff off. Whatever you're going through. Take a couple shots and lay down, you feel good. But see, weed, I'm gonna be 100. It ain't for everybody, because some people get anxiety when they smoke. They get anxiety and they start overthinking. And listen, you can't be an advocate for everybody, bro. You know, it works for you. You know how to do it. But some people, it gives them anxiety and everything like that. And, you know, so, I mean, if you smoked a lot of weed before, I know you done had this happen. You got the palpitations, right? Heart beating fast. Where you thought you was gonna die. Oh man, my heart beating fast. You kept checking it. Oh, I don't feel right. You ain't never smoked no weed, be like, oh, my heart. It ain't hurting. If you was in trouble, you have chest pains. And sometimes you do, but that's just cause you've been smoking strong weed. It ain't cause you having a heart attack. But man, I'll be honest with you, when you got a lot of smoke, it's gonna be laborious on your body. And the only key to that is a lot of water. The best thing you can do when you don't overdose in smoking weed, you gotta drink a lot of water. Okay, when you get paranoid, that's how you know you overdosed on weed. A lot of people don't know that. Go check it. The signs of weed overdose is paranoia. That's how you know you smoke too much. That's the technical way to know. If you overdosed, you dose too much with weed, how you know is you paranoid. You shouldn't be like that. You should be cool and chill and everything like that. But if you kind of paranoid, kind of thinking about stuff, you don't smoke too much. See, these days, really, weed ain't what it used to be in the 90s. In the 90s, weed was, you could smoke a blunt and chill. You can't smoke a whole blunt of this stuff now, unless you got a high tolerance, unless you smoke every day. Then you're going to build a tolerance. But if you just like a weekend smoker, let's put it like that. If you're a weekend smoker, you can't smoke no whole blunt of this. You got to be smoking every day to build a high tolerance. The people you see smoking around like that, smoking a whole blunt to the head, it's because they smoke every day. That's why. You can't do that. If you try to do it, it didn't work, did it? You can't get on people's level and you ain't smoking every day. It won't work. They used to smoking that strong weed every day. And you can't do that. You know what you listen, you know what you actually gotta do? You gotta start out smoking one pull. See, this is how you feel. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm not saying to smoke, but this is how people understand what the weed strain is and how I feel. You take one pull, right? That's the best indication of how that weed make you feel. But most people don't got the discipline to do that. Take one pull and sit back. Okay. Like, dang, I ain't really have to smoke a lot. I mean, that's all I need, right? I just hit it one time. See, the weed, the THC levels change with the years going by. And we so used to holding it in. See, back in the day, you used to hold it in. Take a pull and hold it in. Man, we hold it in for like 15 seconds, man. You remember as a kid, you used to do that? See how long you can hold it in? Like, yep, some good weed, hold it in. Boy, that's good. You blow it out, ain't no smoke. Some people hold it in so long, when they blow it out, ain't nothing. That's how we used to be. These days, man, I notice people used to hit it and then blow it out instantly. As a weed head, I'm like, how you hit it and just blow it out? And it look cool. It look cool like the people do that on the internet. Blow out. I'm like, man, you just wasted a whole bunch of smoke. How did you just blow out all that smoke? I would have held all of that in. Because that's how the old school was. And then when you learn why these kids do that, because that stuff is so powerful, you don't need to hold it in no more. I don't hold smoke in no more. I don't, when you smoke weed, no. It's so strong on top of that. If I know I'm gonna hit it one time, I might hold it in. If I know I ain't gonna get to hit it again, that's why you would do it. But if you about to smoke a whole fat blunt of this strong weed now, you ain't gonna finna hold that in like the old school days. You can't do it. You don't need to do it. And so I caught up to the new day where, okay, I just hit this one time and put it out, wash some dishes and put on some R&B, and I'm just hit this, and then by the end of the weekend, now I'm taking bigger dosages. But if I've been just kind of like just lightweight and I ain't been smoking in a while, I roll a spliff and I hit that like maybe 2 times and put it out. And then I start cooking and washing dishes and everything, putting on a little music. Then throughout the week, I'm traveling and I'm getting more used to this strain. I'm hitting it again. Then the next time I light it, I'm hitting it about 3 or 4 times. Now I'm dosing more, but I had to start out. You know what I mean? That's how it worked. That's how it worked for me. I start out like a couple hits, then I might do that like 2 or 3 times. Then I find myself taking like 3 or 4 more hits, put it out, and then by the next time I might smoke like a quarter of it. You know what I'm saying? But I'm still just dosing basically off of a spliff. I'm microdosing instead of I feel the pressure of smoking this whole spliff. You wasting weed. And if you don't have a high tolerance, if you have a low tolerance, you have the luxury of not even having to smoke that much weed to get high. You wasting. If you know you got a low tolerance, why you gonna smoke that whole spliff? You don't get it. You ain't hear what I just said, did you? If you got a high tolerance, you gonna need to smoke that whole split to the head. But if you ain't got no high tolerance, man, you can hit that one time, put that out. You ain't gonna smoke that whole thing. No way. This new stuff out here now. See, I know better now, and that's the lane. Ain't no way you can change it. That's the lane. You can't smoke no whole split for this stuff out here now you'll be wasting. You can do it, but you'll be wasting. You know, so it's a different time in the world and everything, man, and people misdose with the new weed and the new strains, and everything is always ever changing with them strains out there. You know, when I was smoking weed, man, it was more the THC levels were a little lower, but it was good weed where you smoke a whole blunt with you and a couple homies, and you be high for like 2 hours. We used to count it off. About 2 hours you come down, like clockwork, every single time. No matter what strain you get, you smoke one blunt, and you come down in about 2 hours, like clockwork. And we go back up after 2 hours. We wait for 2 hours, we chill for 2 hours, we smoke another blunt. That's how we did it. And you be looking at the time. Hey, remember when you was high, you be looking at the clock and the time be going slow. You go back in there and look at the timer on the mic, on the oven, or the microwave. You keep looking at that timer like be high looking at that clock in the dark. You know the clock in the dark. You know which one I'm talking about, right? You be in there watching movies. Come in the house, turn off all the lights, watch movies. You looking at that clock in the dark, going back and forth into the kitchen. Man, that was the 90s, man. That's how it was, man. I think we had, even though we didn't have the strongest, most potent weed, it was the fun factor of the weed. That's the best way to put it. That weed made us trip and laugh, and that was the whole point. Weed is a fun intoxicant, if I'm using that word right. It's a fun, intoxicating agent. It's meant to be fun. It's not meant to be a serious. But see, if you depending on what kind of lifestyle you live. But if you're comfortable, at some point, if you're just a weed smoker, at some point you're gonna sit down and enjoy it. Well, back in the day, and you're gonna trip, you're gonna laugh, you're gonna show love, be laughing with your homies and everything, making jokes, tripping. If you don't have a good laugh and you smoke weed and you don't have something funny like classic that happens, something didn't happen right. See, back in the day, that was the culture. Like, you had something great, something good, something funny had to happen. Something iconic had to happen that y'all can remember. Like, yeah, remember that, man? When I was smoking that blunt. Remember that happened? Remember you said this? Remember you said that? See, that's how it was. You know what I'm saying? And the weed had more fun factor. It was more fun factor behind the strains and everything. The weed that was out then, the strains were more fun to smoke. As opposed to now, you know, you don't know if you should smoke too much. You know, hold up, I'm kind of high. Let me put this out. Because as soon as it hit me a certain way, oh, I'm good, that's enough. I'll tell people in a minute. Sometimes people get mad. Like, nah, I'm good. What you mean, man? Why, you ever had a smoker like that? Why, man, hit it again, man. You ever had somebody like that? You smoke with them? Oh, yeah, man. Yeah, I'm good. You feel it. You're like, I'm straight. Nah, man, hit it. Oh, man. They do. Oh, go ahead, hit it again, man. I'm good, bro. Like, especially if you, like, a heavyweight smoker. Like, if you good, you're good. That's something that kicked in. Something like, I know when I'm, like one thing about me, I don't let nobody pressure me. If I feel good, I'm going with that. I'm going with that. Because you can get palpitations, heart beating fast, everything like that. You know, but I graduated all of that, man. I realized that was nothing. You know what I started realizing? I stopped checking my heart. I used to do that when I was young. I'd get high and I'd check my heart. Like, man, my heart beating fast. It'll scare you, man. Be like, but you know what I learned? I don't even do that no more. Before I stopped smoking, I stopped doing that. Cause all you're gonna find is your heart beating fast. Cause it's smoke in your chest. But when you high, you're like, oh man, that's a little abnormal. That's not normal. You know, you remember that time. You're like, oh, no, that's not normal, man. My heart beating fast. You tripping, right? And you high on top of that? Man, I graduated to where I don't check my heart. No, I don't, cause all you gonna do is feel the same thing. You might as well ignore it. Now, if you start feeling like some little pain and stuff, okay, now it's a problem. But if you don't feel no pain in your chest or nothing like some abnormal, besides the respiratory pain from smoking good, strong weed, you're gonna have respiratory pain. So you become smart enough to know respiratory pain from chest pain, with that little stuff you feel in your lungs and through your respiratory system. You're gonna feel them kind of things sometimes act up if you're smoking strong weed. But just like chest pains in your heart area, if you feel that, then you need to go drink a lot of water. That's first thing first. Chuck it, not sip on it. No, not sip on it. You chuck a whole bunch of water to get that water in your body. If you got vitamins, I take magnesium. Anytime I start feeling funny, I take magnesium and I take vitamins. And before you know it, you good. You might have to come down a little bit, you know what I'm saying? But then, not really. Not really. You know, and but some people scared to even put vitamins in. I'm gonna come down off my high if I take that. If I drink too much water, I might even come down off my high. You got them type of people that they don't want to do nothing, mix nothing with that, whatever it is they're doing, because they don't want to come down. You know, but to make me feel more comfortable, I come down to make me feel more comfortable. But I rarely will have to do that in the past these days, you know what I'm saying? But it's better safe than sorry, man, because if you start feeling some type of way, I wouldn't care what somebody thought about me. I'm gonna feel comfortable. I'm gonna take what I need to feel comfortable, and I'm gonna come back up if I want to. You know, and usually it's not gonna affect your high anyway. So, you know, when it comes to what's best for you and what other people feel, you know what I'm saying? You got to go with what you feel. Don't go with what nobody else feels. Everybody's just smoking spliffs and everything. Your body is your body. It's an individual body. You got to go with what you feel. That's what you got to go with. You know what I'm saying? And so sometimes, man, you know, you got to come down a little bit. You know what I'm saying? But I used to be, everybody know me to be one of the heaviest smokers in the family. I used to be one of the first original weed smokers from my generation in my family. And nobody believed I was going to stop smoking weed. Nobody thought I was gonna stop. I started when I was like 14, and I never stopped. Once I started smoking, I never stopped. I started hanging with other people that smoke. I started smoking with my family. I started smoking with my particularly my cousins. I started smoking with people at school. My friends were weed smokers. You know, I started being known as a weed smoker. You know, and I still did pretty good in school. And weed kept my attention. I stayed out of trouble. Because I was like a little weed head, and I stayed out of trouble. I smoked so much, I was cool. I was laid back. But then by the time I got 16, you know what I'm saying, I started selling crack. You're going to eventually still get turned out, you know what I'm saying, in the streets. If you're around the right people in the right neighborhood, you still going to get turned out. But by the time I was 16, I got robbed. I got robbed like 2 times. One time at gunpoint. You know what I'm saying? I got robbed at gunpoint. As a matter of fact, it was the weed where I got robbed. You know what I'm saying? Because I went to the weed house and I bought a quarter of weed, a fat quarter of weed, right? And so I went and got another quarter, and the dude seen me make 2 purchases, but he was just chilling. I don't know why he was chilling around the weed spot. He was probably trying to jack this dude. I think he was gonna rob him. But because to me, that's the only thing that makes sense. Because he was just sitting on, he was like in the cut, like in his car. And the weed dude was like selling booming out the car. He was selling weed out the car, you know? So I had $50. I was gonna get a half an ounce. That's back in the day, right? I was gonna get half an ounce. But he ain't have a half. But a good drug dealer would have made me a half right there. Hold up, you want a half? Okay, I'll make you one. See, that's a real drug dealer. Right or wrong? If you ask for a half, he gonna get all that money. And he said, I ain't got nothing but quarters. That's what he told me. I ain't got nothing but quarters. So you gonna sell me a quarter and instead of getting all this money? More? Double? Let me make you a half. I got 2 quarters. Let me just dump that in here. I don't know if he was scary or not, but if I sell quarters, I'ma just dump a quarter in the other quarter bag, and that's it. That's all he had to do. That's all he had to do. And now that I think about it, that's all he had to do. If I told him I wanted $50 worth, right? Let's put it like that. All he had to do is take 1 quarter and put it in the other bag, wrap it up. That's gonna take like what, a minute? A minute to just dump all the bud in one other bag. That's all you gotta do. You already measured it off. It's already measured off. Just take another quarter and just dump it in the other bag. I don't know why he ain't do it. Now that I think about it, that's just all he had to do. And I know, you know how dudes are. Oh, I make you, how much you want? Oh, I make that, hold up. You say you want a half? Okay, I'll make a half, hold up. I don't know what that was about. Anyway, but he sold me a quarter. He said he had number quarters, right? So what I did was, I bought a quarter. This is how I got robbed. I bought a quarter, and I thought about it. I had $25 more. I said, man, I done bought a quarter. I might as well get another one, man. I might as well. So I turned around and walked back and got another one. And that's when the dude knew I had money. See, he might have equated it to like, maybe I just had a little dub, you know, a 20 sack. He probably didn't know I had a quarter. You know what I'm saying? And when I went back and got another quarter, that's when he knew I had money. But if the drug dealer would have gave me, cause that little skinny dude, he probably thought I had a dime, you know what I'm saying? He probably, you know, I was a little slim dude. He probably thought I had like a dime or something. But when I came back and got another quarter, that's when the dude, that alerted the dude. He was like, he knew I had money. So then, by the time I got down the block, he done already left. I ain't even see him go by me. He might have went around the back way in this neighborhood. It was like a neighborhood where he could have went around the street and went around all the way around. So maybe he did that or whatever, but however he did it, once I hit the block, down the block, he waiting in the front of the neighborhood. He pulled around, went into the parking lot, swinged up opened up his door. No, opened up his window. He's like, yo, don't run. He said, I'll tear your legs up if you run. If you run, I'm gonna tear your legs up. He knew I had the weed, he took all the weed. So that's how I got robbed. You know what I'm saying? Being at the weed house, and really it was now that I think about it, it was the drug dealer's fault. It was the drug dealer's fault, right? It was the drug dealer's fault because he should have served me a half right there, and I ain't have to make 2 transactions and come back. He should have threw the one quarter. All he had to do was just dump it into the bag. I think he was scared he was gonna get robbed himself, cause he didn't want to mess with nothing. He just wanted to throw it quick and you move on. He didn't want to be where he had to pay attention to something while he distracted. That's what it seemed like. Now I think about it. Now I'm more street smart. Other than that, it don't make no sense. If I said I wanted 4 times a quarter or something like that, 4 times a quarter, then I could see why, okay, maybe you don't want to put it all in one bag. I mean, still, even then, if you got it sectioned off already, you got it measured off, right? Well, I mean, all you got to do is dump it in bags, in one big bag. That's all you got to do. It's already measured off. I don't know, man. I don't know. That was just funny. And after that, I never went back to that guy's house again. You know what I'm saying? I never went there again. But yeah, that was crazy. That's how I got robbed. At gunpoint. He had a gun. You know what I'm saying? And I was only 16 years old. So I was already turned out. That was my point. I already was turned out by the time I was 16. I had smoking weed, got robbed a couple times, broke in the house, things like that. That's what turned you out. Then I started selling crack. And then you officially turned out. You cutting up crack and everything. I done cut up rocks before. 20 rocks, and I've done that before, real cocaine, But my mom used to do cocaine, right? So when my dealers who used to serve me cocaine to sell, because I never done cocaine in my life, I never did crack in my life. I never did any drugs other than weed and alcohol, that's it. Now that's what's thorough about me. I never did cocaine. And the reason why is because my mom used to do cocaine, right? So she installed in me as a kid, don't do cocaine. Don't ever do cocaine. So by the time somebody actually offered me cocaine, I didn't do it. I didn't do any cocaine. So I was chilling with my dealer smoking weed one night, and we was drinking 40s, smoking and everything. So I'm in the back seat, you know what I'm saying? It was like, yo, man, you know what I'm saying? I got some cocaine, man. You want to do some cocaine, Donnell? I was like, nah, I'm cool, man. I'm cool on that. You know what I'm saying? Because my mom had raised me right to where don't do cocaine. So I never did. I never tried it. I never thought about it. I never put it in my weed, nothing. You know what I'm saying? But I smoked a lot of weed, growing up. You know what I'm saying? So man, that's how it was back then. You could get caught up because these days kids can go to the dispensaries and everything like that, and they can stay out of harm's way. We had to go among drug dealers just to get weed. We had to go to the homies. And so you had to be a certain type of cool person when you was around illegal activity, where they might have sell some weed sellers, they sell more than weed, Most, especially old school back in the day, they sold more than weed. So you was around a lot of thugs, Back in the day, as a weed smoker, you had, people forget about this part, like back smoking in the 90s, you was going to whole weed houses and everything. And you was going to whole weed houses where they was hustling, and it was all illegal because weed wasn't legal. So you had to be a cool type of person that passed the smell test. You couldn't just come over there and you was sketchy, or they don't know if you gonna snitch or whatever, or you gonna bring the wrong attention or whatever, or you might be a person that might try to rob them. You had to be a certain type of person to really keep copping weed consistently, So that's why a lot of dudes is cool the way they are, you know what I'm saying? That's why you can't tell me nothing about being cool, because I came up in a time where you couldn't even get weed if you wasn't cool. If you wasn't cool, you couldn't get weed, not consistently. You had to be real. You had to be real. You had to be cool, and you couldn't fake it. You just had to be. You had to be turned out. You had to be cool, down. You had to be down with illegal activity, you had to be down with it. You know what I'm saying? And so, that's why back in the day, it was a certain type of person that sold weed and smoked weed and was in that type of crowd. Your friends was illegal, all of them illegal. Our friends was illegal. Now these days, you go get weed from the dispensaries. It ain't got nothing to do with illegal activity. It's a whole different generation of people who smoke weed. Back in our time, it was all rebels. It was all rebels and illegal people. That was the energy. You smoked with illegal people. You hung with illegal people. If you was smoking weed, you was hanging with thugs, criminals. That's how it was. That's the only way you could get it. That's the only way you could get it. These days, you can go to a dispensary where a cool guy just like likes to smoke weed. It's a whole different time. Do I wish we was like this back in my time? I don't know, man, because it just made it more exciting in a crazy way. It just made it more exciting that it was illegal and all this stuff, and it just brought the right type of people. Wasn't no suckers really smoking no weed. You know what I'm saying? It was just a certain type of person. These days, man, you might smoke weed with some cornball, man. Now I've done it. You know what I'm saying? Because it's so accessible. It doesn't determine a certain personality. You know what I'm saying? That might be cool enough to be down with illegal activity, be around the thugs. You pass the smell test with real thugs and hustlers, and you get around that kind of vibration. You've been around that vibration. They ain't gonna be around none of that. They might go get some spliffs or whatever from the dispensary, and they just clowns. You know what I'm saying? So it doesn't definitely identify the same crowd that I used to identify with, that used to smoke weed, that was around a lot of illegal thugs. You know what I'm saying? And it ain't like that no more. So we came up where everybody sold weed was criminals, thugs, because it was illegal. That's how And if you was around somebody that was consistent selling weed, then they were thugs. They were cool people. You know what I'm saying? You began to get down and be cool and everything like that. Mind you smoking weed. Sometimes I used to come into a spot, man, you hitting the blunt. They let you hit the blunt because when you smoke, you be cool. You know what I'm saying? So you see one of your homies, or somebody gonna sell you some weed. Somebody you gonna buy some. Well, they gonna buy you weed from you. You gonna buy weed from them, and they know you gonna buy some weed. They come into the house. You hit the blunt. They got a fat blunt going, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, hit the blunt. Like, okay, man, that's good. Yo, I used to walk into the house like that, man. Come into the house, fat blunt too. I mean, just crazy fat. Like, cause the weed dealer's gonna have crazy fat blunts. Come in the house, man, like, yo, hit that. You super cool when you high, like, yo, hit that. He already know he finna get money off of you. Yo, hit that, man. Oh, okay. Like, yeah, that's good. He was like, I don't know if he told me that's what I was getting, but I come out of there high with a bag. That's a good feeling. You already high, and you got weed. So that's how I used to be. You know what I'm saying? That's how I used to be, man. So that's why I always was cool with everybody, because everybody knew me to be a weed smuggler. I was just kind of like, but when it was legal, so you was in illegal stuff. If the police got you, it was a crime. So it wasn't really petty. It was just because you had camaraderie. It was like it was like these people that smoked, and and you just got down and turned out. So we was never petty. You know what I'm saying? If anything, it just built the criminal mentality. That's what it really did. Because most people started smoking weed first. I started smoking weed first before anything else. And then I didn't even smoke cigarettes. I think I started out with Black and Miles maybe, but I basically started smoking weed first. And then I went to tobacco. And then from tobacco, alcohol. Yeah, like that. Yeah, I think it was like that. Got a little older, got a little bit of alcohol, started drinking alcohol. And that was it. That was and liquor. And then once I got liquor, beer and liquor, that was it for me. That was my ceiling. I didn't need any more. I didn't need nothing else. But I was around people who did other things. You know what I'm saying? I was around other people that did things like cocaine, and my mom already raised me not to do it, so because she used to do it. So see, you could tell what kind of family I came from. My mom used to do cocaine. My stepdad used to smoke weed with the cocaine in his blunts, which we call that Judy flies. We call it Judy flies. Y'all might call it primos. There's a lot of different names for it. Woos. Y'all might call them woos. But we call them Judy flies in the South. Like for a white girl, Judy fly. Judy, like a Judy flies. So we call them Judy flies, like a fly, like somebody flying. Judy flies. So Judy flies, that's what we call them in the North Carolina. So, but I ain't smoke no Judy flies, and, you know, nothing like that. And you know, so I just smoked straight weed and alcohol. That was enough for me. That was enough. That's kind of why I'm so wholesome. You know what I'm saying? I didn't do a lot of things that people do. You know what I'm saying? Like the extra pills, coke, the cocaine. A lot of kids start doing it, especially when they start doing real crimes. They start hanging around some real criminals. It's just hard. I mean, especially old school. You're going to find kids, the old school criminals going to do some cocaine, you know, straight up cocaine, not crack. But another thing is too, that a lot of people who sell drugs wind up doing drugs. That was the thing back in the 90s. A lot of people fell off. They fell off and they started smoking crack themselves. That happened to a lot of good dudes back in the 90s. I don't know if you remember that. I don't know if you came up like that, but we seen it. You know, not only if you come from a black neighborhood, your aunties got on dope, on crack. We call dope. Your aunts got on dope. Yeah, my couple of my aunts got on dope hard. They got on crack hard, and like a couple, I seen a couple drug dealers fall off and they start doing drugs to crack themselves. You know, and it be the coolest ones, the coolest drug dealers, like the ones you look up to. Them be the ones that fall off. So that only ghetto people know what I'm talking about, man. It was like somebody who used to sell dope. He was cool as they come, bro. I mean, just like you want to be like this guy. You just the kind of guy that's in your head. You remember he's in your head. That kind of guy, you know, like cool as can be, man. Like this persona, and then he falls off. You hear, oh yeah, you asked about him because he was so cool. As a kid, I used to see people so cool. Like you asked about him, you wasn't even you was too young to even know anything about him. They wind up falling off, man. They wind up start falling off and doing crack and whatever, and they might have recovered and whatever, but yeah, a lot of people did. That's what happened in the 90s, man. A lot of people start falling off and doing crack, you know. But when it comes to drugs like that, I don't feel like that should be done, you know. No cocaine, no crack. In other words, God wouldn't have you doing none of that, man. No, I'm just being one. I'm just making it clear, you know, because your body is a temple, and anything that wears and tears on you quite quickly, like crack can or meth and different drugs. Like in my life, I almost done crystal one time in my life. This one day, I just had I wasn't doing bad. But I just wanted a different drug. I think that's how people get on different drugs. My day had came where it wasn't that I was tired of weed. I wasn't even really smoking. But I just was curious about a different high. I just wanted a different drug. And it was like, I'm telling you, like a demon, like a devil. Because somebody came to me right when I had that thought. And I don't know if that was the telepath crew. I don't know who it was. But all I know is, man, I had that thought. And this guy came through, right? And I had that feeling before he even came through. And I was like, I just want a different drug. You know what I'm saying? I just want something different, like a different high. You know what I'm saying? And I had that feeling that day. And so the dude came through where I could live with, this one dude. And me and him got in the car, and I told him, I was like, yeah, you know, I'll try some crystal today. I wasn't depressed or nothing. I just wanted a different high, like some different energy and vibe, like, you know. And I think that's what get people. So that one day I had like this different vibe, like I want a different drug, you know what I'm saying? So I'm with somebody that got plenty of money. He went to the ATM and got a whole bunch of money. You know what I'm saying? He went to the ATM, he just wanted a partner to smoke with probably, you know what I'm saying? And I told him, I was like, yeah, because I knew he did that. I seen him do it before. So he was like, I was like, yeah, I'm down with it. Like, I'm do some crystal tonight, you know what I'm saying? He was like, okay. He got like, I think he got like $100 worth. He went and got big chunks of it, yo. Like, it's like, anybody know what crystal look like, the big chunks. So he also got some alcohol. So I just sitting there, me and him drinking, like I talk like this, you know what I'm saying? Just talking or whatever. And I talked myself out of doing that night, because I was drinking and smoking cigarettes, and I'm sitting there drinking and smoking to where I talked myself out of it. That might have been God. I just talked so much to like having this conversation while I was tipsy drinking that I didn't want it, because I got on my vibe, I got on my level, and I didn't want it. That just went away. But it was that one day I was like, man, and I think that's how people get hooked on different drugs. You feel like, I want a different drug. I want a different feeling. Really, you don't want a different drug, you want a different feeling. And that'll come to you if you do something long enough, you get high long enough, you smoke weed or drink long enough, you might be curious about a different type of high, like getting a little higher or just a different vibe. You know, so that came across my mind, you know what I'm saying? But I barely got away with it, because he went and got the drugs. He went and got it. And I turned it down. But I sit there and he hang out with him while he do what he do. I used to be around somebody who used to smoke crack every day. Smoke crack, you know what I'm saying? He smoked crack every day, and I never did it one time. And I know that's what people was wishing. That's how it happened too with the homies. You hang with somebody that smoke crack every day, you're gonna get drunk enough to want to hit it one day. That's what's gonna happen. You're gonna get drunk and you're gonna be like, let me hit it, man. You know what I'm saying? You might not have no weed, but you got some alcohol, but you want to just like feel different. That's what's gonna get you right there. That one day. But that day never came. I never, like, God had his hand on me. You know what I'm saying? I never gave in to no different drugs. And I was around it though. I was around it more than one time. More, even here in New York. I was in Jamaica, man, in the crack room in Jamaica, in Southside, hanging with two females, you know what I'm saying? But that was a funny situation, man. I don't know, man. That was just a funny situation. But because I was supposed to get together with them to like do the obvious, have sex or whatever. But we was in one big room, and I don't know what they expected to happen. I don't know how, but addicts don't care about nothing but that drug, so they was cool with just doing that. I'm the only one that don't do it. But I'm sitting there with my pint of liquor, I'm smoking weed, you know, but I'm passing back and forth with this one chick, this older chick, like me and her smoking together. And, but I'm just cool with my alcohol and liquor while everybody's smoking weed. I'm in this room with crack. I'm in the room with people smoking crack, so, you know, but I maintain who I am, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, that's my story. That's, you know, I done been around it, you know what I'm saying? I done been around, and how you know I'm cool? Because I can chill with all them type of people. I can chill with people that smoke crack, all of that, you know, and I passed the smell test, you know what I'm saying? I don't trip, I don't be tripping or nothing, you know what I'm saying? I just sit there and vibe, you know what I'm saying? Just like everybody else. But yeah, you know, so that was in Jamaica last time. Not this time, I just left Jamaica this time, but that was in Jamaica like 4 years ago. Well, 5 years, technically going into 5 years. Yeah, about 5 years. And that was probably the last time I was around people smoking crack. About 5 years ago. Oh, yeah. And me and him was gonna do some crimes together. We was gonna rob some people together. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the last time I seriously was gonna rob some people. Me and him was gonna do some crimes together. He seen me beat somebody up. He was like, man, that turned me on, man. You beat that dude up. Black people always like that, particularly black people. When they see me in action, like, yo, man, yo, I like how you handle that. Yo, that's exactly how dudes talk all the time. From coast to coast, west coast to the north to east coast. Yo, I like how you did. I like how you handled. That's how they talk all the time. Every time. That's how I gauged it from one dude on the west coast. Well, more than one dude on the west coast. And we was packed together, and this dude was from LA. See, I done been in California to where I done been to places where LA don't get love like that. Like San Francisco, some people from San Francisco don't like LA people. So I was in San Francisco one night chilling with these dudes, drinking and whatever, just chilling, you know what I'm saying? And this little young dude from LA came through, like he hard, like cause he from LA or whatever. And he said something out of pocket and we were drinking and everything. That's the worst thing he could've did. I forgot, he said something kind of off, like, and I'm like, what is this dude talking about, man? I mean, yo, I spazzed on him. And they was like, yo, I like how you handle that dude or whatever. And cause I was drunk, I was tipsy that night. I was like hanging out on the block with the dudes in San Francisco. Young dudes too. You know what I'm saying? And they give me respect. Same thing here. When I was in Queens, I beat this dude, it was one of the best fights of my life. I beat this dude up so good. This dude used to hang with 50. Like he went to school with 50, excuse me. He went to school with 50 Cent. Tall dude, probably like 6'2". I don't know, 50 probably know. He might be 6'3", 6'4", about 200 pounds, 250. But whatever, you know, me and him was hanging out because we was in a half house together, like an emergency house, like kind of like the situation I'm in right now, waiting for an apartment, right? So we was like on Far Rockaway in Queens. So me and him just drinking together, drinking a fifth of vodka together, whatever. So we went to the store to get some cigarettes, and this dude, on our way back, it was too late to get cigarettes, so this dude wanted to get to a train. It was a random dude, he was weird. He was just standing there on the block. He ain't no way, you know, how to get to a train or whatever. So I'm like chilling with this dude. He told me he went to school with 50 Cent. So he kind of, you know, older dude a little bit. But I rock good with like strong dudes, you know what I'm saying? I don't have no problem. This dude was like 6'4", 6'3", 6'4", about 200 pounds, 250 maybe, 230, probably about 230. About maybe 215 to 230, something like that. Yeah, but he definitely big as he was. He probably about 200 pounds solid, for sure. He wasn't no 180, I'll tell you that. But anyway, man, yeah, you know, me and him was just chilling, drinking or whatever. And then we seen this dude and we tried to be good Samaritans and lead him to the train station. Cause he didn't know where he was at. He was from Harlem. He said he was from Harlem, right? But he was from North Carolina originally. So he told us that much. Now the dude I was with, he did want to rob him, I think, cause he started asking him for money, and I was drunk. We was both tipsy. So I was like, he was like, yeah, man, you know, we need some money to get to, you know, for us to take you to the train or whatever. The dude was like this and with me. I was like, and I chimed in like, yeah, you know, we need some money, like that. I remember saying something like that, like chiming in, like, yeah. So he felt like we was about to rob him. And the dude I was with was about to do it. And I didn't know. You know what I'm saying? I'm just kind of there, just going to get the cigarettes, whatever, coming on our way back. I didn't know what his plan was. So, you know, so to throw it off, the dude, the stranger, punched me in my stomach for no reason. And I'm like, mind you, he don't know that we've been drinking hard liquor. He don't know that. Man, he got that one punch on me. He looked like he was trying to walk off or something. I came up on the side of his head. Boom. Boom. Just one hand the whole time. Boom. 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 He kept going. He kept moving until he hit the street. Once he hit the street, it was no cars or nothing. This is Far Rockaway. People that live out there by the beach know, right? It's not a dense population. Ain't nobody walking around all types of night. Especially back there where the bus is. The buses in the where the buses be parking at. So it was back there on back there where Far Rockaways at. You know what I'm saying? We was on our way to the corner store. The corner store was closed. On our way back, around there where the bus station is at. That's why I got him right there. That's where we met him, and that's why I got him. By the time we hit around there with that bus station, that's why I beat him down at. And the dude that I was with was like, wow, is that necessary? Now this dude done went to school with 50 and everything, so obviously he's from Southside. He was like, is that necessary? And I just walked off like I did a crime. So when I got back to the house, I came back down, the dude I was with that lived in the same place where I live at, he was like, yo, man, that turned me on, man. Yo, you got that. like, yo, this turned me. I beat that dude. I beat him good. My hand was so messed up, I had to go to the hospital. I wanted to see if, I thought my hand was broken. It was like swollen like a golf ball, all that effect. My knuckles was gone, all of that stuff. You know what I'm saying? I got locked up that same night because we was going out to rob people after that. We was like two pit bulls. He was like, yo, you want to rob? Let's rob some people. So we went back to rob the dude. He was like, yo, let's go rob the dude. I was like, all right, I'm with it. You know what I'm saying? See, that's the kind of vibe I get. Like, once I'm with the right person, it's over. You know what I'm saying? I'm on that vibe, right? So like, he was like, let's go rob that dude. So we went back where I beat him up at. We went back looking for him. Little did he know, man, he played with the wrong people. We went back looking for him with the weapons. I had weapons and everything. So then when we couldn't find him, we went throughout the city. We was gonna go through the city looking for people to rob. So I just happened to, we got on another side of town, and this lady said something to me across the street while we was about to rob. Like, mind you, I already beat somebody up. I already beat this dude up and impressed this dude. Now he want to go rob people. So I'm with it, right? We both drunk, good and drunk. And that's what inspired the whole thing. You know, I know that's what inspired it. You know, we both were drunk. I done beat down somebody, and we out there ready to rob somebody. You know what I'm saying? So this woman started yelling at me across the street, this random stranger. And she was like, yeah. I'm like, man, yo, I'll mess you up. I'm like this. So she felt in danger because she was playing with two black guys. I don't know what was wrong with this woman. I think she might have been, I don't know, she was Latino. But I don't know why she was talking to two black dudes. It might have been like an angel, I don't know, to stop me from doing what we was about to do. Because it was weird. It was 1 o'clock at night. And there was no reason for this woman to be saying nothing to no two big black dudes. Like, it was crazy. Because the dude I was with was big. If she seen him and still was talking to us, that was the crazy part. That was the crazy part. And I didn't look like I was playing. I had a duffel bag. I had a duffel bag with weapons in it. I didn't look like I was playing. She called the police. She waved the police down like a taxi. Told the police, waved them down, pointed me out. The police, like a cartoon, they came right across the street. Hey, what's up? That lady said y'all was trying to do that. I'm like, what? I ain't do nothing. They threw us up against the wall. The dude I was with was trying to resist. He was tipsy. I was drunk. We both were drunk. But I'm worried about him because I don't want him to get messed up by these cops. So I'm like, yo, chill out, man. Yo, because he's trying to resist. This dude's a big dude. If he resists the wrong way, the police they might have would have killed him. He's a big dude. Like that big. So I'm like, yo, chill, man. Yo, chill. I'm worried about him. They already got me. They got my bag, jackpot, weapons all in the duffel bag, everything. So I went to jail that night. He didn't go to jail. I went to jail. Then from jail, I went to another jail, the big Queens jail. I went there, you know, and I went to see the courts, everything. She told me just stay out of trouble for 4 months. I'm good. I got it. It was a weapon charge. I got menacing with knives. That was the charge. But they dropped that charge. I had an attorney that got that charge dropped. So the charge was menacing with knives. which is that's not a good charge. But they dropped it or whatever. I think they said something about the woman. I think they said she was crazy. I don't know how I heard that, whatever, but something like that. But it didn't make sense because she was yelling at us in the middle of the night. That's what was the funny part. So I think when I gave that statement of her talking to us first, like yelling at us or whatever, I think they just threw the whole thing out. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't get I only had to stay clean, stay out the way, once I seen the judge, they just told me to stay out, this here in New York, told me to stay out of trouble for 4 months. You know how it is. They say you stay out of trouble for 4 months, you don't get no charges, you won't have to deal with the charge. So I didn't have to deal with it. It fell off. My attorney texted me that it came off. I'm glad it did. I got a couple more charges after that, but that night we was gonna go robbing people, man. I don't know what would have happened that night if we hadn't seen that woman and got arrested and got busted. It might have been way worse because we were drunk and we was like 2 pit bulls. I already beat somebody up. I didn't. We was revved up. Revved up. So that's why for me it's a little tricky, man. That's why I say, man, sometimes God's people be between light and darkness, demons and angels. You know what I'm saying? It's a struggle. You know what I'm saying? You get caught up doing this, you go through seasons of doing that, you get caught up in worse stuff and different things. And I definitely went through different seasons. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not surprised to be playing with. You know what I'm saying? I do crime. I've been down to do crimes. I got people that can vouch for that in your city. I got people that can show you that I've been in action. They can vouch for that. You know what I'm saying? So and these are dudes that are not homosexuals. Let me make that clear. You know what I'm saying? Things I was on, whatever I was on, they wasn't on, and I still was 100 with how I was and everything. That's why I got respect. And so how I feel is with alcohol, I went down that whole rabbit hole about that. But alcohol, you can drink, but it has to be at your own discretion. Like you might hear my story and think because the alcohol really, that's what happened, why we went out to rob people. It may have influenced it, but the truth is, people like that sober. This dude put his hands on me first. So it really wasn't really the alcohol. I mean, I don't know. He put his hands on me first. You know what I mean? So, and we had already been drinking that night, but it says, give Proverbs, the 31st chapter, the 6th through the 7th verse. Give liquor to a person who is dying. In the King James Version, it says, give strong drink to a poor man. That's what I think I'm pretty sure that's what it says. Here it says, give liquor, that's the strong drink, to a person who is dying, and wine to one who feels resentful. And we resentful about this gang stalking, bro. We resentful about these people that playing mind games with these children outside of our windows. Like we stupid. We resentful. So it says, give liquor to a person who is dying, and wine to one who feels resentful. Such a person drinks and forgets his poverty and does not remember his trouble anymore. Which means in that time when he drinks, he doesn't remember. He's not thinking about the stuff that he's going through. So see, that shows you the Bible, like in the real world that we live in. You know what I'm saying? Where people think that it's all bad to drink and everything. It's not what you do. Like the old school say, it ain't what you do, it's how you do it. It's not what you do, it's how you do it. You know what I'm saying? Am I telling you to go out here and get crap face drunk? No, I'm not telling you that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not telling you to go get crap face drunk, but you gotta know where you at in your soul, in your heart. Like me, I can enjoy. I don't have to run to the races. Like once I get me a bottle, I can chill in the house with my significant loved one, which would be my wife, and I can have some drinks, have some eat something good, watch some clean movies. You know what I'm saying? Watch a clean movie and be in the company of my woman and not be tripping or nothing like that. You know, and so if you can do that, if you can be like that, then with liquor is not a problem for you. But if it just make you trigger you and you want to go get cigarettes and you want to go get, and I've been there, because sometimes it's a trigger. If you used to smoking and drinking together, if you drink and you go all the way up and you get saucy, you might want to get a pack of cigarettes. I done been there. But you gotta know, like, okay, I'm drinking, but I can't smoke no more. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's hard for some people because you used to the alcohol and the cigarettes together. Okay, I took me a couple shots, let me get a cigarette. You know what I'm saying? It's not easy. I'm telling you, boy, it's not easy. But it's been 2 years almost since I stopped smoking cigarettes, so I'm happy. I'm very happy. See, that's the punchline. You know what I'm saying? I'm not actively smoking weed or cigarettes, and I'm not drinking. That's the punchline as well. You know what I'm saying? So I practice what I preach. You know what I'm saying? But I believe that being that it's in the Bible and people want to act like that's not really there, it's really there. It's really there. It just said it. It's just really there, right? So we know it's really there. Okay, so then you have to use wisdom on what you can do as an individual. But you don't teach as if no one can do that. That's what I'm saying. That's when many people are guilty of not being 100, being a good teacher, because you can't handle it. You shouldn't teach that nobody cannot. It's a lot of couples, a good couple, good drinks, a good stiff drink at the end of the night. That's really all they need to spice up their little love life. You know what I'm saying? I'm being 100, man. And because you teach them, your drinking is a sin and getting excessively drunk is a sin. That's kind of obvious because you could get alcohol poison. Think about that. So why would God have you in that situation where you get alcohol poison? Think about that. Okay, so God wouldn't put you in that situation. Nothing that God would have you doing would put you in jeopardy like that. Okay, so so obviously you don't go to that level. Okay, that's what you need to be looking out for. You know what I'm saying? Because I remember Andre the Giant. Andre the Giant could, I don't know if you know the wrestler, Andre the Giant, he could drink kegs, like bottles of liquor. I went and looked it up. That's something I ain't never know. Like, this dude could drink like a whole bunch of liquor because he was a big dude. But you can't do the same thing. You've been a died trying to drink with Andre the Giant. No, go look. Hey, Andre the Giant used to drink, I forgot how much he used to drink, bro. Like crazy amounts of alcohol. Like unbelievable amounts of alcohol. At short periods of time. Not, we're going to sit there for 5 hours. Nah. I know the real history and the real culture, man, for in my age, in my generation of my generation. And I'm constantly educating myself, but like I said, man, you don't want to teach somebody they can't do it, but then because you can't do it. You know what I'm saying? You should leave it up to other people's discretion. If you lead a church, tell people, I don't drink no more, but I can't tell you not to drink. You know what I'm saying? Just use wisdom. If it's a trigger for you, if you can't handle your liquor, preacher got taught like that. If you can't handle your liquor, man, you don't need to be drinking. I remember this one brawny dude, masculine brawny dude, man, that I worked with. All the women like him too. He had that kind of look, right? And one day I seen him on the streets, like in the hood. Like he stayed on the east side, and I was over there on the east side because I had a female over there, right? So, you know, me and him just started chilling. Like, I went to get me a beer because it was Father's Day, you know, and I wanted to get it off my mind, you know what I'm saying? Because I wasn't with my son or whatever. So I went and got me a beer. I was on my way to go get me a beer. And I just happened to see him. And I was like, what's up, man? You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I'm about to go get me a beer. You know what I'm saying? You drink? He was like, nah, I don't drink. And then he told me that he can't drink. That it causes him a problem. He was like, you know, you know, he can't drink because he fights. He fights on alcohol and everything. See, that's him as a person. I've met people like that. They know their limits. They can't drink. Me, I don't have that problem. Long as you cool, long as you good, I'm not gonna trip. You know. And have I been perfect with drinking? What I did when I drank? No, I'm not perfect. I don't have a perfect track record for drinking, but I know I can handle alcohol. It's not a problem for me. I haven't drank in 7 months, so I'm very proud about that. I'm very happy about that. Yeah, it's good. Yeah. Let's see. July, August, September, October, November, December, January. Yeah, 7 months. 7 months, man. And this is the longest I went without alcohol in 16 years. So see, like, it's like, see, I'm on a whole different wave of positivity, as you can see, bro. Because I wanted to give God, fulfill my promise to the Lord that I wanted to quit drinking for a whole year. Not because I made mistakes drinking, not to be honest with you, but I just wanted to cleanse up, purify, and get free from it for a while. You know what I'm saying? Leave it alone, put God first, and don't deal with it for a while. That's kind of how, you know, what made me make that decision. And so I'm almost done. It's almost a whole year. 7 months, just like that. But you know, God knows everything. I didn't need to drink in the place where I'm at right now, where I'm living. I couldn't drink in a place like this because it's too much foolishness. And if I was drinking liquor around here or in the last place I stayed, who knows where I carry weapons? Who knows where I'll be today? Because I'm like this. Now, can you imagine me tipsy on alcohol? I'm not on liquor. I don't play any games. I don't play no games. I drink liquor. Anybody that knows intoxication know that anybody that drink liquor consistently is not somebody to play with. A beer drinker is one thing. A liquor drinker is a whole different animal. It's a whole different animal, man. You know, the only way I drink beer is if I ain't got no money. Like I always tell people, if I'm broke, I'll give me a 40. Or OE, Old English. I'll give me a 40 or OE or something like that, usually. Malt liquor, because that's going to get you drunk, more tipsy than a beer, but, you know, some other kind of beers. You know, I give me a 40. You know what I mean? That's how I was drinking, you know what I'm saying? So, but people look at me and act like I ain't never done nothing in my life. And I like it like that. I like it like that because, I don't want to look like what people say. You don't look like what you've been through. I'm glad. I don't look like what I've been through. All my drinking and everything I've done. You know what I'm saying? Looking for people to rob out here in New York. I don't look like that. I don't look like that person. At least I hope I don't. But I still wear masks. Back then I wasn't wearing masks, so I wear a mask. I wear toboggans on my head. I cover my face a lot. So, you know, some people might think some things, but I'm not out here trying to rob and hurt nobody right now. You know what I mean? I've gotten better. You know what I'm saying? And that's what God look at. That's why I don't have any time for fools. I don't have any time for people that's not living in positivity. Like somebody would say in prison, that's sober. You know, I'm living in positivity. I don't have no time for nobody, and ain't living in no positivity, and ain't on the same wave. You know what I'm saying? I ain't drinking right now. I ain't smoking. I ain't no company for nobody trying to party. Nope. Ain't no need to come to me, because I ain't smoked weed in 2 years. I ain't smoked cigarettes. I don't smoke cigarettes. I ain't got a lighter. Not even for candles. I don't have a lighter for incense. I don't have a lighter. You know, and I'm proud of myself, because it's 2 more months will be 2 years from smoking weed. No more smoking weed. No more cigarettes. 2 years. 2 more months will be 2 years. And I did that on my own. Ain't nobody say, yo, you need to quit. You need to quit smoking. You need to quit drinking. You need to quit smoking weed. Nobody ain't tell me that. I know as a man of God, I don't need to be smoking no cigarettes. I know as a man of God, I don't need to be smoking no tobacco or smoking no weed. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not going to, that's where I keep it 100 when it's about that now. Because see, cigarettes can cause cancer. It can cause cancer, right? So why would God have you doing that? Something that can cause cancer. If it can cause any kind of detriment to your life, even weed, I heard this from a Jamaican, even weed can cause cancer. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you're smoking blunts, because that's, well, now we educated, we know, we have evolved as black people, we know a cigar is tobacco. The actual leaf, the roll, the wrap itself is tobacco. So we've been smoking tobacco the whole time. And some people say, well, I don't smoke cigarettes, but you smoke blunts. You smoke blunts though. And see, back in the day, we used to smoke Phillies. Everybody know the Phillies, man. Philly blunts, that was all we smoked. Man, that's how it used to be. We used to smoke Philly blunts, 50 cents a piece. You go to the store and get a 50-cent blunt. 50 cents, straight up. Get you 2 Phillies. Get you 2 Phillies. Yeah, that's how it was. But that's tobacco. And then the stretches, some people put a little bit of tobacco in the weed. We started doing that. When you ain't got a lot of weed, you stretch it, put a little black and mild tobacco in there, some tobacco in there. You know, but I ain't doing none of that no more. And this time, I'm more serious than ever, because this is the longest I've been without cigarettes and weed in 16 years. In 16 years, I ain't been, this is the longest. You hear what I'm saying? This is the longest I've been without smoking cigarettes in 16 years. 17, excuse me. Excuse me. I've been since 16 all last year. This year is a new year. 17 years. This is the longest I've been since 2009. That's 17 years. Since 2009, man, that's when I started back smoking. When an old home girl came through with a blunt, that's how it happened. Female, not the homies, a female. You know, you chilling with a female. Man, you know how it is. Man, she had a blunt. Me and her started smoking together, man. That's how I started back. Hanging with an old flame, no pun intended, man. Me and her used to be together. You know what I'm saying? And a white female, you know what I'm saying? Me and her, we ain't do nothing that night. We just smoked weed, but yeah, man. You know, that's how I started back smoking weed. You know, hanging with a female back in the day. You know what I'm saying? That'll get you too. That back in the day, people start hanging with them, man, and get a sense of nostalgia just being around them. You know what I'm saying? Me and her smoked the blunt, and that's what got me started all over again. It took me this long to stop. But when I first came back to New York, I had stopped smoking weed, because I had my first girlfriend. She used to smoke weed in New York, in Brooklyn, in East New York. My first girlfriend here, she used to smoke, but I wasn't smoking. I smoke Black and Milds and drink, but that was it. I wasn't smoking weed. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I had my moments where I stopped. I had my moments where you know what I'm saying, just like the next dude. But I never went 2 years without it. I never went 2 years. This is the longest. This is the longest I've been without it, man. Cigarettes and weed. You know what I'm saying? Oh, man. I'm proud of myself, man. You know what I'm saying? I feel better. I'm healthier than ever, and I ain't got to worry about the cigarettes wearing down on your body and all of that, man. After you get a certain age, you conscious of that at all times. Like, all this smoking tobacco and cigars. I used to smoke cigars, too. People used to see it. I used to smoke cigars with no filter. Dudes probably think, man, that dude's gonna be, this dude is smoking cigars with no filters. Not smoking and puffing and all. Like, this dude is inhaling it like a cigarette. I know people probably talked about it like that. And then now, look, 2 years later, all that smoking cigars, I used to smoke real cigars. You know what I'm saying? And now, I feel better. I feel good. Taking my vitamins, everything like that. You know what I'm saying? So I'm a survivor. I'm a soldier, man. I survive my own demons. You know, I shake my own demons and they gone. You know what I'm saying? I don't smoke no more. I don't smoke weed no more. I done quit drinking for a whole year. I want to do a year. I want to do a whole year. And I'll be satisfied once I do a whole year. I promised God I would do a year. And I'm serious about my offerings to God. I'm serious about, when I promise God something, I want to do it. So that's why I'm doing it. I don't really have to do it. You know what I mean? I don't have a problem with alcohol. That's how you know. I quit. I'm not agitated. I'm not irritable. I don't have any days where I wake up wanting to drink or anything like that. I don't have on the weekend, like a day like a Sunday. See, I'm from the South. This is where we eat our soul food and have our little alcohol. That's what everybody doing right now in the South. I don't know how y'all do, but we have our best meals on Sunday. We have our Sunday meals, and we have our alcohol. And the weekend is always the best. The best time, and now the weekend isn't what it used to be. I used to have, the weekend was the time where you got to party, you know what I'm saying? You got to drink, you got to chill, and you feel that pressure, like I need to do something. I need to be, you know what I'm saying? I need to be, trying to, it's that lingering feeling, like I want to party. Just because it's the weekend, just because it's Friday, just because it's Saturday. Especially those 2 days, Friday and Saturday, man. But now I don't have those struggles. I don't think about the weekends as in terms of partying or turning up or any of that. Like, I just go through the week. Honestly, the weekends, I just can't wait to get through the weekends because I want to get back to the business days. Because I move a lot of mail. So lately, man, I just push through the weekend, wanting to get back to the business days so my mail can keep moving to these different countries that I'm giving mail to. These different offerings. Like, I just sent $1 million down to South America. That's why I'm just happy, man. It's a good time for me. And I got a lot, I'm getting a lot of sleep. You know what I'm saying? I'm resting better too. Like, already. The blessings is coming already, man, because I'm just sleeping good. Like I said, man, I sent a whole $1 million down there. You know what I mean? I made up my mind. I saved my money. I had to save. I had to let that money hit more than one time. I had to save. And I got it. I got the money. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, that's just where I'm at, man. So this is the calm before the storm. This is the calm before the storm. They wish misfortune on us, and now we wish misfortune on those who went against us. Because as you can see, I'm normal as it comes. People are halfway being entertained, but you forget the offense that I went through. Now, if you was on quick on your toes, when you see how normal I am, just like you, and everything I talk about, the information, like the tribes of Africans being distinguished in America, that was the biggest fail right there. When I go through all this information, and you see my life is as normal as yours, for one to pull licks and go on licks and everything like that too, right here in New York, you can see, man, that it's a problem. They not gonna be able to make me out to be no weirdo. You know what I'm saying? And that's what they trying to do, so I can be dismissed like it wasn't a problem to do this, and it was. So their fight is just like these white Americans, is to discredit you and to throw the OJ glove into the evidence, to throw off the evidence. These dirty cop type of people. That's all it is, man. You know, these dirty cop type of individuals. And, you know, and that's what we fighting against. I'm going to keep fighting them. I'm going to keep fighting the police that's in my business and playing with me. And they don't think I know. I do know. You know, and we going to get revenge, you know, because I know it ain't nobody that can stand against me. In other words, it ain't no real thug and gangster that can stand against me in his right mind. Because I'm right. You can't do it and have credibility and be the person that stick by principles like you do. You can't go against me. Now, you might not like me personally, and I might not like you personally, but that's besides the fact. Based on principles, I win. I beat these people, and that's all it is to it. See, what happened is that they put me into a situation that God didn't allow me to be in. And they keep trying to put me in these same situations. Like this whole building that I'm in is a setup, and they don't think I know. Man, listen, man. You think I get this credibility from being a amateur? The signs are there, okay? That's why I stay armed with weapons. Anytime I move through this building, I'm always carrying my weapons. You might say it's not necessary. I feel it is necessary. I feel it is. Okay? And no, I'm too dangerous. I'm too dangerous as a person, bro. Now you hear my story, you know, I done got caught with a bag full of weapons. I done went through the holding L's with the police. There's no way around it, man. If you really this type of person, you gonna hold some L's, some nights. It might not be no years, but it's gonna be at least a night you gonna hold the L. You know what I'm saying? As far as what you were trying to do. You know what I'm saying? This don't come without L's. If you say you an armed person and you about that life, it's gonna come with some L's. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not. Listen, I don't want you to think I'm trying to hold to some persona. I'm not trying to hold to some persona, but I'm just telling you what it is. I'm just telling you what it is, man. You know, I get triggered. You know, and God has really been, keeping me, because how I feel, man, when somebody surround me, I'm not going to be depressed. I'm not going to be suicidal like Hitler. Hitler was surrounded and he killed himself under pressure. That's why he did it. He felt he was under pressure. He probably also didn't want to be captured alive or whatever, It probably that probably influenced it too. But ultimately he was just under pressure and he killed himself. I ain't gonna break under pressure. I already proved that. That ain't gonna happen. All what'll happen is I give me one of these people in here. If it came down to it. That's why, man, it's not good to be playing with me, man. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm one of the people. I'm one of the type of people. I get triggered, I'll go out there and run and find the person. I guess y'all call those steppers. That's part of it. I'll go chase a person down. If I hear somebody talking out there, I go chase them down. They don't know I'm built like that. God knows this. I don't lie, bro. I don't stick to personas. I'm not trying to be a tough guy. This is who I am. That's why I'd rather be the person that just talks from the heart and tell you I do crimes, and I have done crimes, and I have had the intention to do crimes, instead of saying, putting these labels on it. Like I'm a thug, I'm a rapper, I'm whatever. Nah. I just have the heart to protect myself. And that's that, man. It's not any fraudulence and fabrication and exaggeration in it. I stay armed. You know what I'm saying? And they don't know. Like, people out here talking don't know. I'll chase you down. I'll chase you and ask you what you're talking about and see what you're talking about. You know what I'm saying? And I run very fast, and I guarantee you can't run faster than me. Buddy, no, you can't. You can't run faster than me, man. I got a reputation for it from a long time ago. Even back when I went out for football. I didn't ever go out for basketball. I was a football type of dude. I could play basketball though. I done played basketball in California, you know what I'm saying? Things like that. So I can play. I got a reputation for it in California. I ain't never feel the fever of playing basketball fever in New York. I never felt it. A little bit when I was in Harlem. I used to walk down on Lenox, and I see people out there shooting around. You know what I'm saying? The fever got me almost one time. But in California, you get this fever, boy. If you can play basketball, you get the fever. Because everybody shoot around. California is not, I mean, what the West Coast is, East Coast died. That part died to them. You know, the East Coast don't play basketball no more. They don't listen to music no more. The West Coast, they still listen to music. They still listen to music, old school music, R&B, all of that stuff, and they play basketball. And they play basketball over there. New York don't, I mean, the whole East Coast don't play basketball no more. Not like the streets. I'm talking about the community. They don't, nah, not like that. Not like that. California, the whole community play basketball, everything. Music, everything, all out in the streets, music all out in the streets. See, that's how the East Coast used to be. California stayed alive. I hate to say it. They stayed alive, man. The East Coast died, bro. Like, the music, everything gone. You know what I'm saying? Nobody play basketball out in the streets no more. It ain't that camaraderie like that no more. You know what I'm saying? Like, on the California, they still play basketball. They listen to music. They be sitting out there listening to music and everything. Old school music, everything. I don't hear none of that kind of energy out on the East Coast. Cause see, how I see it is, we get on the West Coast, black people got them police in check. That's what you got to get in check, is them police to have a mutual respect, where they respect you way better. Like, see, on the East Coast, this whole bunch of rednecks over here. You know, on the East Coast, the whole down south, everything. On the West Coast, they worked it where, man, it's this mutual understanding between the streets and the cops. They don't run and play with, you know, if you notice, most of the stuff you see lately with the black folks, with the police, is all East Coast and ain't no West Coast. Matter of fact, in Compton, a dude walked up to the cruiser, a police cruiser, and shot all in the car and took off. That was like how many years ago? I think that was about 5 years ago, something like that. Something like that. Yeah, dude, like, might have been long, about 5 or 8 years ago, somewhere in there. But, you know, yeah, dude came up on the cruiser in Compton, just shot the car, just shot him unprovoked. That's the difference between California and the East Coast, man. They got them boys in check over there. They got them cops in check over there, bro. Yes, sir. See, over here, y'all be submitting to these cops and everything. Like on the West Coast, man, it's got to be mutual. I look at it like they got to have mutual respect. You know what I'm saying? I give you a perfect story. One time I was in LA, and it was like cops come by every 15 minutes downtown to LA. No lie. Like clockwork. So I was chilling with my homegirl, and me and her was smoking a joint, right? This is when I smoked weed. So I'm in LA smoking a joint with this, but I don't think she could smoke. I think she was one of them kind of crazy girls that can't smoke. But she was like, yeah, the police gonna come. You know, the police. Sure enough, man. She kept talking about it. I was like, man, don't worry about it, man. Like, sure enough, man, while we was smoking, the police came right through. So they just pulled up slow and everything. I can, listen, this is a true story. This is a true story. So I had a 40, right? A 40, like a 40 ounce bottle of beer. So you know how it's shaped like a bottle. So the cop says, he slows down, right? See me with a female. So that probably look good. But he was like, what's in the bag? You know what I told him? Listen, this how you know I was high. This is how you know I was high. To even say this, I was high. I said, mind you, I'm sitting on the sidewalk. He said, what's in the bag? It was obvious. It was a 40. You could tell it was a bottle. It was a bottle. He said, what's in the bag? It wasn't even slack on the bag or nothing. You could tell it was a bottle, right? It wasn't like a whole big bag and you couldn't really see the bottle. You could see that it was a bottle, the shape of the bag, right? So I told him, those are books. Them books. That's why you know I was high. I said, them books. I said, hey, stand up, girl. Stand up. And she was sitting on some of the books. I said, I see them books right there. For me to say that to him, he just drove off. That's my funny LA story, man. I'm sitting there smoking weed. The police see a bottle in the bag. Obvious bottle in the bag. Obvious bottle. Right? I told him it was books. And then I showed him a book my girl was sitting on. I said, look, see? That's books. That's how you know I was high. I'm gonna be honest with you. I would have tried that sober. To say it's books and it's obviously a bottle right there. but for me to say that, he already know I was probably that might be trouble. I told him it was books, right? And he just left. He just rolled off. I can't, man. I'm not lying, bro. This obviously looked like a bottle. It was a 40. So then he left. Police rolled off. Yeah. But see, I was always with females. On my birthday in LA and Los Angeles, the weed lady gave me a bag of weed on the face for free. For free, bro. Like, I had women that same woman kissed my hand like a king. Kissed my hand in front of another female. That same female I was with when the cops came by. The weed lady kissed my hand in front of her, and I think that's what messed me and her bond up. But she was talking to some other dude, had me standing over looking like a sucker. Then I've seen somebody I knew, and she kissed my hand like a king in front of her. And I think she was yelling or something like that or something. I don't know, but yeah. You know what I'm saying? I had over there in LA on my birthday, two women, a white Italian woman gave me like 2 shirts for my birthday. They showed me love. I got 2 shirts for my birthday. I got a bag of weed from the weed lady in LA. So people acknowledged me, and you know what I'm saying, when I went to Los Angeles, you know what I'm saying? Like, so as you can see, I'm the same person as I am now. I was just more quiet because I couldn't talk to everybody, obviously. I was just doing more walking through than anything. But they can tell you're strut, you know what I'm saying? You got something going on with yourself. You know what I'm saying? They can tell, you know, so, you know, I got love, you know what I'm saying? I got love for Mexicans, white people, black people, everything in between, you know? You know, so that's why, like, you know, I don't play any games, you know what I'm saying? I don't play no games at all, you know what I'm saying? You come for me, you gotta be willing to die for it. You know what I'm saying? That's straight like that. You ain't gonna be able to play no games, because I'm gonna get you, I'm gonna spank you, I'm gonna curse you. I'm gonna curse you. You know what I'm saying? Because if you try to curse me, I'm definitely gonna curse you. If you try to play with me, I'm gonna definitely wish misfortune on you. See, in American culture, we're taught that you don't wish misfortune on people. I don't care nothing about that. I don't care nothing about these American philosophies. I use common sense. If it's a whole community against me, I'm against you. That's common. Ain't that logic? That's logic, right? That's logic. Some people get away from logic, bro. I mean, that's logic to me. That's logic. You against me, you ain't gonna be able to hold me to some good behavior while you playing games with me. Yeah, you ain't gonna be able to hold me to some good behavior while you playing games with me. But you holding me to this certain behavior, to this certain, like, and you playing games. Man, you can't be serious, bro. You know better than that. That's why I did what I did. This is why this is happening. I done put $1 million. He ain't even hit yet. Oh, that's to come. Why I done put $73,000 down in South America. This is no lie. Go add it up. Go add it up. It's what it is. I found a niche. I found a good niche. I found a real good niche for sowing offerings and giving offerings to God's word. Man, it just makes sense. If a lot of Christians just got close to God, God gonna show you all these things. You got USD. USD is gold in other countries. It's like gold, like holding a piece of gold, literally, bro. Because it's so much more in different currency. If you take $5,000 in another country, that's gonna be worth millions. Literally. Bro, literally. You talking about hundreds of millions of like $5,000. Hundreds of millions. Like $250,000 probably. I mean, $250 million. 250 million. So I found that God gave me a niche where now that I give offerings to these other countries, and it's gonna monopolize. It's gonna be way much more in another country. It's all God's work, right? So why not give to another country and it's all God's work? And these Americans ain't nothing anyway. They don't believe that America's the enemy anyway. Most of these Christians don't believe it anyway. So why don't you support somebody who believes that these people are nothing? Why support these Christian churches here in America and they halfway with the Americans anyway? That's my justification for it. They halfway with them. Why support them? So with that being said, I feel way better about supporting Christians outside this country. See how it works? So my heart is in it because that's why it's in it. That's part of why it's in it. Yeah. They gonna believe these people against us. They gonna believe these people against Americans. Christians. A black man, they gonna believe that. They gonna believe America is against a black man. You talk to another person here in America, these Christians here, they ain't gonna believe. They kind of don't. You tell them America against you because you black. They gonna kind of halfway not believe that. Go tell somebody in another country. Go tell another country that these Americans playing with a black man. They gonna believe it. They seen the history. They see what's going on. And they can't be influenced by all this deception. Like we all together, but we really not. So I feel good about giving to another country anyway. And then it turns into so much more money. It's like, wow. It's already $1 million. I already put out $1 million. I done been sending money to Egypt. Where the pyramids at, the real pyramids? Egypt. I'm putting money over there in Egypt, buddy. Oh, they ain't tell you that? Egypt. Like I said, when I first came to Brooklyn, I put money in Poland, right? Where Hitler was at the place where the concentration camps at. I found a church in the same city where the biggest concentration camp was, where Hitler was killing the Jews, right? I found a church, a Christian church, not any other kind of church, not a religious Catholic church, a Christian church. Yeah, that part. I found a Christian church in Poland. And when I first got to Brooklyn, I sent money to that Christian church in Poland where the concentration camp was. And that's not anti-Semitic. It's a church. How is this anti-Semitic? People goofy, man. That's what I'm saying, man. People are real goofy. I don't get goofy about anything. People get goofy about that anti-Semitic stuff. I'm serious. And they're not perfect. They make mistakes. So you can have conflicts with them and you might hit below the belt, like I like to say. You might hit below the belt, but you're not really an anti-Semitic person. You just got a conflict with this person. And you're going to hit below the belt sometimes. But are you anti-Semitic? No, but you're going to hit below the belt. Like as in boxing, you're going to hit below the belt sometimes. Are you racist? No, you're going to hit below the belt sometimes though. Because you're human. I'm not condoning it. I'm showing you human nature. You might hit below the belt. Okay, so like I said, it's not anti-Semitic that I do that, but I found me a church in Poland where the concentration camp was so my name has been over there. So I feel like I'm putting on for Jesus. I'm praising Jesus in the place where all that stuff happened. You know, and yeah, but it's people in that city that know, that are aware of me, that I'm connected to. Then I work with Germany. You know, I went to Germany and worked where the head of the Illuminati, Adam Weishaupt. Adam Weishaupt was born in Ingolstadt, Germany. So I found a church in Ingolstadt, Germany, a Christian church, once again, not a Catholic church, because when you get over there in Europe, people start thinking, you know, that's a Catholic church. No, I found a Christian church in Ingolstadt, Germany, where Adam Weishaupt, the original leader of the Illuminati, I found a church in his hometown and gave money to that church. Oh yeah, buddy, I'm not playing no games. I'm a spiritual black belt, buddy. I went back to the source where all this foolishness came from. I went to I put an offering. People, I got a connection in Ingolstadt, Germany. And I already did it. It's too late. I already did it. I did it this summer. This summer I was sending money to Germany. That's why everything is turned, bro. It's already up. Like, you know, I send money to Germany, where the leader of the Illuminati, if you go look him up, he comes from Ingolstadt, Germany. Ingolstadt, Germany. Okay? I sent money there. I sent money to his hometown. I got a connection in the leader of Illuminati's hometown, putting on for Jesus over there. You know what I'm saying? Representing Jesus over there. Yeah, they didn't know all of that. I already did it. It's too late. That's what we gonna do, buddy. We gonna play chess. We gonna play chess. We gonna play yes. We gonna play yes. I put money over there in the Illuminati's leader's hometown. Right over there. I told him the whole situation, and I always write a letter. I told him the whole situation about how Illuminati over here in America and everything, and they know who it is, because that's the leader's hometown. They know a little bit about it. Yeah, I found this hometown in Germany. Yeah, that's what somebody like me gonna do, buddy. I ain't playing no games. I put money in the hometown where he was at. I sent money to Germany, in Ingolstadt, Germany, Poland, England, and in the same hometown as King Alfred. Where King Alfred was. If I'm not mistaken, Birmingham, England. I think I'm saying that right. Yeah, I put money in England too. So let me see. Cause I want to look that up. Yeah. Like right here. Yeah, like Winchester. That's where it's at. Winchester, England, in Winchester. Okay, so you know, for people that's got me surrounded with this psychological stuff, we listen. I want you to know something, man. This is the reason why your country ain't going no further. Cause every little game you play, we getting revenge. So yeah, I send money to Winchester, United Kingdom. the UK, Winchester, UK. I'll put it like that. But that's the hometown. That's what King Alfred was at. So I done sent money out there to England, Germany, and Poland. Poland, England, and Germany. That's Europe. So I've been out there in Europe, England. For the Middle East, I done sent money out there to Dubai, Africa, Cameroon, Kenya, Egypt, and the hometown of Jesus, Nazareth. I found a church out in Nazareth. That's since I have been here in Nazareth. I wanted to find a church out there with Jesus, in Jesus' hometown, Nazareth, and send money out to Jesus' hometown. Yeah. So that's out in Israel, Nazareth, Israel. So I done did that and everything, man. I done sent money out to Taiwan, out there by China, Taiwan, Australia. I've been consistently working with Australia, but I'm gonna get back with them later on. But I found me a spot in Japan, Australia, Taiwan. Yeah. I sent money to Taiwan about a month ago, no lie. That was like thousands of dollars, couple thousand. I sent a couple thousand out there. Okay, so it's just for March. We're not letting people play these astro projecting games where they can try to see if they can get in. All of this is gonna cost the shutdown of America. We're gonna shut the whole thing down. That's our response. I just want you to know, because all the stuff you're doing around here, where I'm at, all of that is not free. Not one thing that you're doing is free. It's all paying a price for this stuff to fall down, for this whole country to fall down. And you might not think that God will do that for me, but look at your country. It's already happening. You know it. So, out of jealousy, you might think you're on my level, but we know you're not. We know you're not, bro. Come on. You ain't dealing with no okie dokes, bro. You just heard where I came from. You heard my whole story. Do I look like an okie doke to you? Okay then. So then it's already a war. We already winning. We know it's you playing psychological games. As I analyze it, as an African analyze that, an African ain't gonna be beat in his mind. I'm African. So you ain't gonna beat me in my mind, buddy. You ain't gonna beat me in my mind, buddy. You can't play, them games don't work with me. And you wish misfortune on me like that right there. That's what we talking about. I wish misfortune on you and the people with you. Yeah. You hear a Christian telling you to your face, I wish misfortune on you. Gotcha. I got you. You just threw psychological stuff. All I'm gonna do is analyze it and be guarded towards it. God know my mind ain't think about that. So you ain't gonna be able to do nothing. Because once God seen you doing all you doing, you think he gonna hold me to some little game that you playing? No, I don't even gotta play along with that. You can think whatever you want to think. I can fail miserably at what you talking about, and you ain't gonna be able to do nothing. You need to hear that. I can fail miserably in whatever you talking about, and I'm gonna still be right here. I'm going to heaven, and you gonna die. And that's that. That's all I'm saying. I can confront any kind of conversation you talking about. I can confront anything you want to talk about. We don't care nothing about sellouts. We don't care nothing about black people playing around me because we don't care about them either. Because in the last days, it ain't about color. It's about good and evil. Okay? If they on the side of evil, I don't care nothing about them. So what? So what if they black? So what? They black and evil. They black and crazy. they black and crazy, ain't they? Okay, so that's all we care about, man. Listen, I don't care nothing about them. They can die today. They can die today. That's the balance, because it's like I said, this all is out of control because there was never no unison and harmony in the tribes of black people. They was never together. That we was never together because we didn't have leaders that sophisticated the divisions that we have of different tribes. They didn't bring different divisions. It's just confusion. It's just a whole big ball of confusion. That's why it's always confusion in the streets. because people are not separated into tribes. That's the first thing the black leaders should have done, was separated everybody into tribes. They didn't do that. That's why it's confusion everywhere. You don't know who these people are. They don't know who they own themselves are. They don't know who they are. I know who I am. I'm 52% Nigerian. And when you find out who you are, holler at me. Until then, you beneath me. Simple. You are not my equal. Until you figure out what tribe you come from, you're not my equal. And you can do all these African psychological hoodoo and voodoo acrobats, and you can do all them acrobats of Obia and Santeria and Brujeria. And guess what? If you don't know where you come from, I'm gonna be better in spiritual war because I know all the tribes that I got. Right? You don't know all the tribes you come from, do you? So how can you even be an expert and a master in spiritual warfare when you don't even know all the tribes that you possess? You don't even know what tribe you come from. How you gonna be a master in spiritual warfare? That's why it's not working. That's why you beneath me. That's why ain't nothing you doing working. I can call you on everything you're doing. Because I'm tip-top shape. I know everything. I know where I come from. I'm fasting. I'm seeking the Lord. Listen, man, you a joke, bro. Straight up. I know I can see everything you're doing. And when I make moves, you try to attack the mind, that ain't gonna work, bro. That ain't gonna work, man. You dealing with somebody who know where they come from. Go find out where you come from. Where you come from. So let's settle it. We eliminating everybody in 2026 that's African American that don't know what tribe they come from. That's 7 out. I'm talking about as far as witchcraft. As far as these people that's opposing us with witchcraft and thinking it's some standoff, you a joke, man. You don't even know what tribe you come from. You're a witchcraft mystery can. You're a mystery can. You know how a mystery can is? You don't know what's in it. That's you. You don't know what tribe you come from. You're a mystery can. What tribe you come from? You're a mystery can. Your whole family is mystery cans. That's how you do it, buddy. You don't start no fights with me and then think I'm listening. What I supposed to do? Oh, you thought I hit like a sucker. Well, that's a haymaker right there. You and your family is mystery cans. We know where we come from. We Nigerian. What you are? What you are? Oh, just a mystery can using witchcraft, trying to be special. Oh, talking about you pro-black. Pro-black, but don't know what tribe you come from. Pro-black, but don't know what tribe you come from. See, this is the pressure you put on people. This is real healthy pressure. This is the right pressure. This is the right pressure. Go find out where you come from, buddy. You and your family a mystery can, buddy. Y'all don't even know where y'all come from. Y'all gonna live and die, don't know where you come from. You men out here having sex with these women, you think you're above me. She don't even know what tribe your penis come from. What tribe your penis come from? So if she asks you, what kind of penis is it? Oh, it's African penis. That's what you're gonna say. Baby, you know it's this black penis. You know it's this African penis. No, she want to know what tribe it come from. You can't tell her what tribe that penis come from, can you? See that part? See that part? See that part? So you've been having sex with all these women and they don't know what tribe your penis come from. I can tell them what tribe this is. This Nigerian penis. Because that's dominantly what it is. This Nigerian penis. Where your penis come from? For women, that you got a big butt, but where it come from? What tribe it come from? Oh, it's just black booty. It's black booty, ain't it? It's black booty, ain't it? It's black booty. It's black booty, ain't it? It's black booty. Where the black booty come from? What tribe? So your man been having sex with you all this time. You got 5 kids, but you don't know what tribe that booty come from. It's just African. It's just African, right? Oh, okay. Another woman can tell him this is Nigerian. This is Nigerian booty. Now you can pinpoint it. Okay, this is Nigerian right here. You know what I mean? This Nigerian penis, this Nigerian booty. What y'all call yours? What should I call yours? It's just African. That's just like saying European. That's just European. You ask a white woman, okay, where you come from? Oh, I'm European. that sounds funny, don't it? Like an alien. Like, you remember the cone heads? I come from France. Hey, the cone head said, I come from France. He said he come from France. I come from France. I come from Europe. Hey, it would have been better if he said, I come from Europe. I come from Europe. That would have been more funny, actually. You come from Africa. That's how you sound. You don't know what tribe you come from. I do. What tribe I come from? Nigerian. I'm Nigerian. What tribe are you? So you can't tell your woman what kind of man she making love to. That's sad. Think about how many women you done had sex with. They didn't never know what tribe you came from. Think about it. All these great men, all these great women don't know what tribe they come from. That's a shame. That's a shame, bro. That's why I see, man, listen, you play yourself talking about you pro-black and you don't even know what tribe you come from. That's pathetic to me. To me, as a sensei, as a true sensei, it is pathetic. As a sensei, for you to tell me you don't know what tribe of African you come from. That's the truth. I'm trying to show you why I rank at. Okay, now it's some people that know, but you don't know. We ain't talking about them. We talking about you playing with me. You don't know. Don't go point to them. Well, he know. Well, Oprah Winfrey know. Well, Jay-Z know. That's them, not you. You don't know. You the one playing with me. You Illuminati members. What tribe of African you come from? These Freemasons. What tribe of African? What tribe of African you come from, bro? You just a black guy. You're a black guy, ain't you? That's the tribe. Black guy. I never heard of a country called black guy. Black guy? I don't come from black guy. What tribe you come from? This is how you beat people like a man. I beat you down like a man. You don't even know, listen, you don't even know what tribe you come from. Talking about you African, pro-black, you fight for black people, that's 7 out. You fight for black people, don't even know what tribe you come from. Can't sit, come on, man, stop playing with me. Bomber clock, but you don't know what tribe you come from? But you ain't a bomber clock. But you don't know what tribe you come from. But you're not a bomber clock. You see how it looks, right? You see how it looks. You see how it looks to a man like me. You around here calling people, even in this building, they're around here calling people bummer clots. I guarantee you they don't know what tribe they come from. I put money on it. I put $10 on it right now. I put $10 on it. Real money I can pay you. I bet you $10 the ones that said call me a bummer clot don't know what tribe they come from. Every last one of them. But you're not a bummer clot. So what tribe you come from? That's how you bury these suckers. What tribe you come from? Around here calling people bummer clots. So I get it. I guess you're supposed to be pro-black. You're supposed to be down with black people on another level, right? On a higher level. But you don't know what tribe you come from. So that means your family don't know either. Your family don't know what tribe y'all come from. Y'all just sitting around like slaves on the plantation still. Like y'all don't know who y'all are. Listen, you don't even know where you come from. Your family don't even know. Your grandmother don't even know what tribe she come from. Your grandma and granddaddy and grandparents don't even know where they come from. Won't you go and get them some DNA tests for Christmas? Won't you go get your grandparents some DNA tests for Christmas? Won't you go get your mama and them some DNA tests so y'all can figure out where y'all come from? You can't be serious, bro. You can't be serious. Stop playing with me, bro. Stop playing with me. Y'all don't even know what tribe you come, but you supposed to be fighting against me. You can't be. Listen, man. It's more wars you gotta win than the wars you try to present. You all try to present the same kind of war, and that ain't the war this is. You know what this is? This is the war of who you fully are, testing you on all levels, and you only listen. And if it was the Olympics, you'd have mastered. Let's say you done mastered canoeing. You doing canoeing, ain't you? In the Olympics. Well, I do canoeing. I mastered canoeing. I've mastered canoeing. I've mastered canoeing. But that's it. You don't know where you come from, so you can't win that war. Well, how you gonna win the war being African? You don't know what tribe you come from. But you win in the war being the best African, but the African that's the best African don't know where they come from. Sound like a book, don't it? The best African that didn't know where he came from. I could write a book on that, couldn't I? Best African, I make a novel. Best African that didn't know where he come from. Can't be serious, man. Won't you go listen, man? We this is the Olympics, not the Special Olympics. Where you keep your jacket on at the, you know, the Special Olympics, they keep the jacket on the whole time. You gotta keep the jacket on with his badge. The Special Olympics, keep his badge on. That's how he gonna get cleared to play the event. Make sure he got his badge on. Hey, they making sure you got your badge on, don't they? You at the Special Olympics like you need your badge on, don't you? I need my badge. My badge must have dropped in the back seat. Or in the golf course. I got the golf cart on my way here. It might be in the back of the golf cart. It might have flew back in the back of the little thing in the back of the golf cart. You know they got a little thing in the back. Hey man, look man. Look, man, this is the real Olympics. You listen. If you was in the Olympics, what country would you serve for? That's 7 out. What? If you was in the Olympics, what country would you play for? Well, you gotta know what country you come from. What country you come from, bro? So if you was in the Olympics, what team would you play for? I would play for Nigeria. Right. What country would you play for? So if you couldn't qualify for playing for the Olympics because you wouldn't. No, we ain't talking about USA. We talking about we talking about the African that you are. We ain't talking about USA. We talking about if it was the African you are, what country would you play for? I would play for Nigeria. What country would you play for? Oh, so you couldn't play, could you? You couldn't qualify for the Olympics. If it came down to what country in Africa you came from, you couldn't qualify for the Olympics, could you? No. You have to sit on the sidelines and listen, you have to sit on the sidelines like a sucker and watch everybody play. We in the Olympics now, buddy. It's show and tell. It's show and tell. What country you come from? You see where we at, right? That's it right there, the 7 hour. Listen, you can't even qualify to play against me, buddy. You don't even know what tribe you come from. So you get banished. You disqualified. I told you. Listen. If you was part of an assassin team, they wouldn't even know what tribe you came from. They'll ask you, okay, we're going to make you a world-class assassin. You're good at what you do, right? But to make you the best, we want to know what tribe, what country in Africa. We know you're African, but what country in Africa you come from? You couldn't even be a world-class assassin, not knowing specifically what tribe you come from, what blood is in front of them, what kind of man is in front of them. See, this is how America got you. They just let you call yourself African American this whole time, and you didn't know what tribe you came from. That's 7 hours. I do. I took the time. Oh, it takes time, but ain't it worth it? If you say you love yourself, okay, anything that's worth having takes time, as they say. Or has to be earned. You get it. You know what I'm talking about. Why you ain't do that? Huh? But you supposed to be on my level. Man, you can't be serious, man. You lost the first war. The war of knowing self. You don't know self, do you? Man, stop playing. You lost the first war. Now you're talking about real respect from real Africans. Go talk to a chief. He has no respect for you. You don't know what tribe you come from? You're too old to not know where you come from. That's what the chief gonna say. The chief gonna tell you the same thing. You are too old to not know what tribe you come from. How old are you? You're too old. You're too old to not know what tribe. By the time you're 25, you should know, at least by 25, you should know what tribe you come from. You should know by 25. Yeah, in your prime. In your prime when it matters. Listen, you should know what tribe you come from. You don't know what tribe you come from? But you can see me, man. Stop playing with me, man. That's a 7 hour. Stop playing with me. You got rich people that don't even know what tribe they come from. These rich black people don't even know what tribe they come from. Yeah, you got millions of dollars but don't even know what tribe you come from, bro. Oh, I know that's true. Also, everybody that get rich that's black do a DNA test. So every rich black person gonna do a DNA test. Come on, we know better than that. No, we know better than that. They ain't gonna do it. Too busy chasing the buckaroos, ain't they? And wasn't that the name for currency on DuckTales? Buckaroos. I think so. Buckaroos. too busy chasing the buckaroos, man. Listen, man. Listen, bro. You mess with the best, bro. Listen, that's real. You want to do this, and we doing it. We doing it, ain't we? We doing what you want to do. You want to see me? Yeah. You want to see me, don't you? Huh? Here I go. Like Mystical say, here I go. Here I go. And here you go, not knowing where you come from. Here you go, not knowing where you come from. Here you go, not knowing what tribe you come from. Out here though, huh? Out here though. Out here. Grandma don't even know where she come from. Grandma out here talking, but she don't even know where she come from. Hey, why grandma don't know where she come from? That's a shame. Y'all should have got her DNA test back in. You should have got her DNA test back in 2012. Grandma should have had a DNA test back in 2012. Here it is, 2026. The world finna end. She don't even know where she came from the whole time. Man, come on, stop playing, bro. Let me tell you something. If you call yourself pro-black, your whole family should have DNA tests. You start with the oldest people in your family. I mean, that just makes all the sense in the world to me. And then you go to your siblings. You go to your aunties, your uncles. You know what I mean? Your little, then that's it, really. Everybody else know, you might do it with the kid, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. After about 20-something. After about 20, but you gonna get the aunties, the uncles, the brothers and sisters, the grandmas, you know what I mean? The granddads. You gonna get all that out the way, man. They gonna have the DNA test, know where they come from. You got all the bread in the world and your whole family don't know where they come from. Come on, man, stop playing with me, bro. But y'all supposed to be more blacker than me. Well, who you now? Here's the punchline. Who you think is the most black person? Me or them? And they don't know where they come from. Well, when you base it on identification of blackness, see where I'm going with this? When you go with identification of blackness and knowing what that blackness is, and we saying who's the blackness and what that blackness is, and we gonna base that on who's the blackest by being able to identify what the blackness is. You don't win, do you? No. Not in the world we live in. No, it's no excuse. It's no excuse. We're going to take points off. Yes, sir. I mean, come on, man. Come on, listen. You spend less than $100. You spend more than $100 on DoorDash. I always talk about DoorDash because that's what everybody be tricking off and getting all that food on DoorDash. Yeah, I know about it. I used to eat off DoorDash all the time. They act like I just was under a rock somewhere, like they got me in prison. Man, I'm eating off DoorDash and everything. Yeah, I'm up to date, buddy. I was eating off DoorDash and everything, eating good every day. You know what I'm saying? Eating off DoorDash and everything. Now, most people spend about $100 on DoorDash, right? Okay. It costs less than $100 to see your DNA. You know that? So the money you spend on DoorDash, you can spend that money getting your DNA. If you don't know the money that I'm talking about, yeah, that money that you spend on DoorDash, that's the money I'm talking about. And I know you know, and you know, yeah, come on. Come on now, come on. You spend that much on DoorDash, some of y'all be flexing with DoorDash, spend about $200 on DoorDash. Come on, man, I know what I'm talking about, especially on the Sunday right now. You done bought a chicken, you done bought cornbread, greens, everything. From DoorDash, from a soul food spot. I used to do the same thing. I hit the soul food spot on DoorDash. You ain't done that before? Man, what we asking is this, man. Go see who you are before you try to play with the champion. Before you play with the champion, go see who you are. Okay? That's how you know I'm a sensei. I put you right in your place, buddy. I put you right where you need to be. You know where you need to be right now? You need to be finding out who you are before the world ends. Or you gonna die and don't know who you are. Some of y'all going to hell. You gonna burn in hell and not know who you are. At least you can find the pleasure of knowing who you are before you go burn in hell. Well, it's a real world we live in. What you want me? Oh, we supposed to tell them they all going to heaven. Some of y'all going to hell. You can at least find out who you are before you go to hell. Well, oh, you thought we was all going to heaven? Like Get on the Bus, like Spike Lee Get on the Bus movie. You thought this was a Spike Lee Get on the Bus movie, hey? You thought this was Spike Lee Get on the Bus movie, didn't you? Well, we all going to heaven. This is Spike Lee Get on the Bus movie. It's kind of like the theme of the Spike. This is like a Spike Lee movie. Spike Lee Get on the Bus movie. It's the theme. It's the same theme. We got the same vibe, you know. Everybody get on this bus. Everybody get on the bus. This ain't Get on the Bus, but this ain't Get on the Bus. So I'm gonna tell you something. I'm gonna tell you right now. I'm gonna tell you right now. Some of y'all ain't going to heaven. And you know what? Hell, like DMX said, it's dark and hell is hot. Okay? It's dark and hell is hot, buddy. That's like one of the realest rap titles, true. That's eerie right there. It's dark and hell is hot, buddy. It's not a game. See, for New York, DMX was the one trying to wake everybody up. It's dark and hell is hot, man. Some people ain't going to heaven, bro. They not going. So, and you gonna die and go to hell, didn't even know what African tribe you came from. This is your heaven now. This is your heaven right now. This is closer you get to heaven right here. You know you ain't going. It's closer you get right here. Everybody's summing it up. Everybody ready. Everybody ready to go. Ain't nothing to look forward to. All these kids died. How most people look at it, why should we be alive and they dead? All these kids done died and you want to live. For what? Why do you want to live? Why you want to live? these kids done died. Why you want to live? Ain't no need. It's too late. So many kids done died. Why should you want to live? That's what I'm talking about, bro. So everybody's starting to make up their mind what they want to do. They ready, they getting their soul ready. You could at least find out where you come from. Cause some of y'all ain't going to heaven. You could at least find out where you come from, bro. Cause you take so much pride, it's so sad, you take so much pride in being African, but you don't even know what tribe you come from. But I take healthy pride in being who I am, but you got this pro-black pride, right? Well, you need to know where you come from. So I challenge you. You know what my challenge is? Go see where you come from, bro. Please go do that. Don't play yourself coming out here and nobody don't even know what kind of African you are. How we know for sure? Well, I got African features. You got African features. You got African features. How we really know you African? How we know? No, that's real. We don't really know, do we? That's how you should feel. You don't really know. No, you don't. Prove it that you African. Go prove it. How we know you African? You might look African. We don't know. What if you just look African? Found out you something else. From a remote tribe somewhere in the Pacific, the South Pacific, a remote tribe in the South Pacific. They come from a remote tribe. Hey, go find out who you are, man. Go find out who you are, bro. Get back to the master, the sensei, man. But go find out who you are, right? Go find out who you are, right? Before you try to step to a sensei. An African sensei, a Nigerian sensei. I'm Nigerian. I'm 52% Nigerian. I'm 4 different types of African. Sierra Leone, Maasai, General West African, and Nigerian. That's 4 different types of African. That's what I am. What you are? Huh? Oh, you don't know. You don't even know the Pacifics, do you? Come on, stop playing with me, buddy. Stop playing with me. All these people in Brooklyn don't even know what tribe they come from. What tribe you come from? What tribe? What tribe? What tribe? You don't know? Come on, stop playing with me, buddy. But you walking around like you know where you come from. You don't. How we know you black? How we know? Cause you say so. Cause you say so. We don't know. We don't know if you're black. Oh, I can prove it for me. How we can prove it for you? Huh? Man, stop playing, bro. Stop playing, bro. That's what I'm saying, man. I bring the real. I don't have no time for no sucker.